But right now, don't lift your hope too high. Things will get nasty, things will get dirty, because nothing's going to change. Even if you made Jesus Christ Minister of Finance, nothing can change. Nothing will change because the expense is looking you in the face. You have to fund everything.
I see in the next few months a noisy country, a very noisy country, rowdy country, a heavily divided country, a very tough economy, a sense of elitism by those who are coming at the hem of authority. The coming in of the Unity Party is going to multiply the economic woes, the economic conundrum, the economic quagmire, the suffering of the Liberian people is going to multiply. We are not prophets of doom, but the reality will come.
I'm not coming new to government, although in different positions, ran a public corporation that was credible. And I can tell you that I come to work not with friendship. I have friends, but there is a clear line of demarcation between friendship, family, and managing. With the experience that we come with a country that celebrates 176 years, and with the life of our people living below the poverty line, I don't think we come into government again to start talking about our family, to start talking about, I think we come there to make sure that we give the Liberian people hope, and I'm committed to that.
Don't trouble nothing too much, you know.
1, 2, 3, I'm loving you. 4, 5, 6, I'm missing you. 7, 8, 9, I want you.
I miss you, and it's too hard to bear. What have you done to me? I'm waking up in the middle of the night without you, and it's so unfair. I toss and turn, reach for you, only my pillows. Soon awake, the morning, the sun rises, but I'm alone. Hurts my soul.
1, 2, 3, I'm loving you. 4, 5, 6, I'm missing you. 7, 8, 9, I want you back. 1, 2, 3,
I love you.
4, 5, 6,
I'm missing you. 7, 8, 9, I want you back.
Here within my arms again.
It shows on my face, the evidence is right here. My smile has been erased, can't you tell? I have no appetite, my food.
Another sunny afternoon in Liberia, Monrovia.
You could be replaced.
On this 27th day of May 2024, gradually the year is going to an end. Another day again with a couple of things unfolding to talk about.
Dreams into reality.
Having fetched the issues, just oppose them, about to unfold them to you because you are the boss and we are the messengers. So let me say thank you so very kindly. Good afternoon, wherever you are. According to your geographic, good morning and welcome to the show, Bits and Pieces on Voice of Liberia 104.1 with me, Sam Andrews and Edwin Dwa. So out of 10,000 plus, only 2,000 made it to the finish line at the University of Liberia.
I miss you. it's too hot.
The action against assets recovery or delivery people omitted from the retreat. Did Kula Fofana tell the truth or
1, 2, 3, I'm loving you.
who is after Senator Amara Conan? His office was surreptitiously broken into, essential documents taken away.
3, I'm loving you. 4, 5, 6.
We gauge the reactions of Senator Edwin Snow, Senator Darius DeLon, Representative Musa Belete, and the rest on the same situation with Ibo Mav and Elton. Similar situation, if not the same, during Weir's time. Quote unquote, 285 pieces of machines. All right, time is of the essence. Let's bring on those who have come on the show as quickly as we can. Then we start to look at the issues. But just so you know, at 4 o'clock, we've got those individuals in. We'll look at their condition. They got a couple of things to send across to the government and the people. Their situation, you aren't a strange person to it, but they will be in at 4 o'clock to explain everything about themselves and what they need from the government and the people of Liberia. Until then, Juja Wanwe have come on the show from Johnsonville. Nia Brown, you've come on from New Jersey, the United States of America. Rubin Conner, you've come on from Gardnersville. Mamadi Moritz, you are following from North Dakota, the United States of America. David Givler, you've come on from Waterside. You said good afternoon, VOL, and good afternoon to the good people of Lofa County, precisely Zozo, where I'm pretty seated and listening from Mandwa Market, Waterside. Moyan Sharif, you've come on from District 9, Cinco. You said good afternoon and good afternoon to you. Yeman Sebe, you've come on from Bon County, Banga City. Ansu Coleman, you are following from the headquarters of the Economic Freedom Fighters of Liberia. Your boss, Emmanuel Gongwe, who is in South Africa, will share his thought on the 285 pieces of F-moving machine. Not for, not against, but we'll look at it. The issues are so interesting this afternoon. Not only are they interesting, but they are very crucial. Cyrus Quellerman Pekin, you've come on from Bangor City, Bon County. My dear Southeastern sister, Dwight, you've come on from Minnesota, the United States of America. Thank you ever so much for having you on. Stanley M. Gayu, you are following from Jamaica Road. Shelton Duo, you've come on from Virginia, the United States of America. Ambassador B.B. Jones, you are following from Upper Cornwall. Mark Dowie, you've come on from Colahun, Lofa County. And Nick Guy, you're following from Europe. Andrew Trocon Bestment, you are following from Old Road Belt, you said. Timothy T. Kekula, you've come on from Johnsonville. Anthony Rogers, you are joining in from Pennsylvania, the United States of America. Kusuka Dosla, you've come on from Maryland County. Bobby Quilly, you're following from France. Issa Sano, you've come on from Gbapolu County. Stanley Sharif, you are following from your comfort zone, you said, in Breville. And Kuta Pay, you've come on from Banga City, Bon County. Okay. We will acknowledge as you've come on, just like Maurice Kemuka has just come on he said, DN, USA, and Harrison Way from Kentucky, Louisville, the United States, and James Tokba, Magibi County. Okay, so we've got a couple of things on our afternoon plate. Edwin Dra is in. Patrick Sa is on the camera. Dra.
Yeah, so Patrick is always on the camera, and Patrick ensure always that we are on, and the people in the desperate, people who would not get us via the FM can get us through the television and whatever means, they can get us. So again, we have come on. Today's the first working day of the week. It comes with a lot of excitement, especially when you have woke up and kept a lot of time and have communicated with a lot of good friends, and have understood exactly what it takes to have woke up this morning, safe, sound, strong enough, to battle the life hustle. So we have come again, to give you exactly what you deserve in radio as to how the day-to-day activities of our country are trending across. And our bilateral relationship or multi-bilateral relationship with whoever we are connected to, and by whatever means we are connected to have things being done in Liberia. We have come again to tell you we are here, and this is how the country is running. Whether the country is running good or bad, we have come to tell you on this first day of the week, as it marks the 27th of May. So we got very few days, Sam. We got a few days to the end of this May. I think May will be ending on Saturday. No, Friday. May ending Friday. Saturday will be the first, something like the 1st of June. So, it is an exciting moment for every one of us, living to see May coming to an end very closely. Slowly, we say, thank God for giving us this day. But like you said, we have a lot of stock here to talk about today. Couple of things and things happening across Liberia. We'll be able to talk to some of our correspondents across Liberia this afternoon. They will be able to provide us the happenings in the rural counties like Bong, Margibi, Maryland, Lofa, and the rest of the counties. So be there while we are here together. We have that marvelous production on today.
The University of Liberia is where we get started. This, in my opinion, is a repeat couple of years back into the regime of former President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, when thousands of individuals sat the exam, and the result came out, only few made it to the finish line. Reports have it that the University of Liberia entrance and placement exam, as they will call it, and 13,034 persons sat the exam, and only 2,069 passed. That means 9,000 plus failed. If the numbers are right, then it means 9,000 plus failed the exam. What that means for Liberia, well, I do not know. It is purely individual. Martin Luther King said, we have to burn the midnight candle. If you burn the midnight candle, you get a good result. If you can burn the midnight candle, well, you're going to get the result on the other side. Life is all about devotion. Any and everything you intend to do, you've got to devote time, energy, resources into it, because you want to get the return of those investments you are making. So if you give it a mediocre approach, like Martin Luther, but Malcolm X would say, if you sit down, you're going to get a sit-down result. So if you put in a mediocre approach, you will get mediocre result. So I can argue on institutional ground. No, that would be foolhardy on my part to argue on institutional ground. I could argue that. I got a couple of bits on that. But given our society, I can argue on institutional ground, but purely individual. If you put time, energy, because you want to get a return on your investment, and the kind of investment you make is the kind of result you will get, or the return. Because every investment has a return. When you invest, you want to reap the dividend. That dividend is what is referred to as the return on your investment. So if you put less time into your study, you're not going to get the mark that you want. If you put more time and you devote time to research, you endure the temptations that are associated with studying, you cut off everything, because pleasure and education, they aren't on the same plane. They can go together. So that's it. 10,000 plus, according to the report coming out of the University of Liberia, sat the entrance, and only 2,000 plus passed, 9,000 plus failed. Drum?
Yeah, so it is not a good call, you know. It doesn't show a good sound for the University of Liberia. You know, the University of Liberia will need to graduate from, you know, this stage now, where you will administer tests to a very huge number of students across, or candidates across the country, and you have just very minute portion, very little portion of people who took the test and passed. And this is how it all appears to be at the University of Liberia. It's been speculated that people don't often pass the university tests like that unless you have a friend or you got a connection at the university. And if the university would register like 10,034 candidates, imagine 10,034 human beings took the test. They registered 10,034 persons for the test. So all the 10,034 that sat the test, they're telling us that just 2,699 persons pass. So where the balance 8,900 and some 800 and some more persons who failed. So University of Liberia collecting the sum of 3,800 per one person, or $20 US. So you see, they are collecting 3,800 per person. So the 3,800 per person, or $20 US per person, if you do the mathematics here, Sam, you will see that the University of Liberia is collecting the very huge money for entrance, that which we don't have problem with the collection of the money for the entrance, but the environment in which the test, you know, is being administered. You will see even up to test day, there are some people who will go write the entrance, will not have seat. Some of them will be sitting on block. The chair, in fact, some people will be seated in. There will be no arm. You see them pressing on another chair, and you just have the entire process just been, you know, regulated recklessly. So how you will administer tests, collecting the sum of $3,800 Liberian dollars per person, and you had 10,034 persons sitting the test. You out of the 10,000, you had like 2,699 persons who passed the test. A very decimal point that passed, making it at 28%. So you know, say 28% is not a figure that somebody will say more people pass the test. So what is the reasons that more people, you want to tell me all of the 10,034, the 2,699 were the most smartest students that performed among the 10,034 students? I would say no. This is where you see the doubt come, you know, when people will be talking about the authority of the University of Liberia, especially the entrance and placement test department, always, you know, in a habit of maybe collecting money, and it's been widely spread that people can pay money to pass. If you don't comply, you can't pass the test. These are how people come up with the speculation, and people will have to perceive. Why? Because the number of people you're looking at that wrote the test, 10,034 persons. Now even 5,000 are passed. You're telling us 2,699 persons passed. Does the university do well? No, it didn't. The university didn't do well. 3,800 per person. So you know how much the university generated? Then they will be coming telling people how the university, the bathroom of the university not even up to standard. Chairs in the university, no good chairs in the university, people running around the university campus with chairs from one class to another. No regulation in place, nothing good, no good facility. Then what is the authority of the university library will collect huge sum of money from people writing wax, entrance? Where the fees going? What are they doing with the money? University libraries depending hugely on the government, paying staff. So the 3,800 librarians per candidate, is it only to be collected and be, distributed among themselves? What are they doing with the money? I think this thing, the legislature will have to come in and see how the authority of the University of Liberia are generating money and how they're spending the money, and why, in fact, you should collect a number of people, that you are not even expecting to have them enroll in a university. Where in this world you'll be expecting yourself like to accept 2,000 human beings to enroll this semester, and you're administering over 10,000 entrants? Where in the world would that happen? Only in the University of Liberia. So when it happens now, people who are closely connected to faculty are the ones who be privatized. So the old man came out, so who not get money, whether you pass the test, they will compromise your interest. This is where the speculation comes from. So the University of Liberia should have a standard set. This is the university that everyone will wish to attend because it is the university of the country. In the outside world, people will prefer you going to the University of Liberia because it bears the country's name. It is the country's university. So it should have that standard. The moral it has in the outside world, when you come in the country, you should see that level of facility in the university. 10,000 person pay, 2,000 person pass. It's not a good sound. People collect money for entrance. They view bathrooms on the campus, not in a good condition. You got the view bathroom, no water. It's not a good sound. No tissue in the bathroom. It's not a good sound. The University of Liberia will have to take into consideration some of the money collected for entrance. They can divert them to certain other areas on the university campus so as they can improve the environment for people, for the students in the University of Liberia. Instead, the university just having one old age problem. You go there, no toilet facility, no water facility, nothing at the kind, chair, nothing. People running around from one class to another. You still got people. Jesus, man, some of these people can leave talking about sometimes, so the way some people can handle their own issue, because some of these things very emotional. You talk on it till you get vexed. Sam, yeah, you can continue, Sam.
Yumotro Kringa has come on. Thank you ever so much for coming on. You said you're glad to be on the show from Minnesota, the United States of America. Good to have you on. Started to remember Moses Lake, you've come on from Kakata City, Magibi County. Jackson Pony of I Am Fadre Block C community, you've come on. Pastor Melvin Powell, you are watching from the United States of America. Thank you ever so much, men of God, for coming on. And I do have a serious reservation. It's a reservation, but let's leave it that way with some of the men of God. That is on the plate. Until, just to give you a hint, until the pastors, not all, those sycophantic pastors can stop being sycophantic. 1. 2, until they can stop using position or title to think that they are informed. 3, until they can start to read, research, and don't think that the pulpit is exclusive. A pastor is a researcher. A pastor is an intellectual. A pastor is everything representative of an informed person. A pastor is not a person who takes side with a government, or when that government is over or is no longer in power, then they come out when they were dining and whining with that government and they want to seek favor with the current government. They will come on to put or use expression like this: the politicians failed this country. We'll get to that. Your presence, Pastor Melvin Powell, has reminded me of that, even though I have it on my list. Thank you ever so much for coming on, my dear Pastor. I appreciate you. So, the next issue we've got to talk about, well, it was omitted. Here is it. Have a listen to the press secretary.
575 persons, that is not true. There are more public officials who have declared their assets, and the information that was given by LSCC was not true. As for the specifics, I can get back to you on this one, but I can tell you for sure that it is not 75 persons. And as to what the president is going to do, of course, the president did, as you remember, during one of our press conferences, we did talk about president's reminder to the public officials. And again, he has consistently reminded them, but he will be taking up some decisions. And there is a planned cabinet meeting or retreat coming up very soon, public officials. And again, he has consistently reminded them, but he will be taking up some decisions. Consistently reminded them, but he will be taking up some decisions. Consistently reminded them, but he will be taking up some decisions. Consistently reminded them, but he will be taking up some decisions. And there is a planned cabinet meeting or retreat coming up very soon, and there are some actions that the president is expected to take. And encourage again, he also, and there are some actions that the president is expected to take soon, and there are some actions that the president is expected to take, and there are some actions that the president is expected to take, and there are some actions that the president is expected to take. And encourage again, he also is encouraging all public officials to go and declare their assets. Because this is part of what he's for.
Couple of weeks, not long, was what President Joseph Yuma Boaka, press secretary, told the whole world. Given the delinquents of very many of his ministers, it caught the president's attention in concert with the code of conduct, and that he was going to take action according to Kula Fofana. And that action would have emanated from the retreat. The retreat went for 3 days. It ended, nothing. Most of those people have not. The president will have to He will have to speak to his people. They must do. The president said there will be no business as usual. But we are saying business as usual. Unlike the president can put his feet to the ground, unless he can stem his authority, unless he can tell the people that he has full control of the government, people will continue to say and speak the way they see things unfolding. The press secretary should not have said, when it wasn't fully agreed. That is the problem I have with most of the people who manage the public relations of ministers, directors, prime minister, whoever. You don't take to the public to make an announcement on such vital, contentious issue when you know that you haven't discussed it with the person, or you did not discuss it with the person. Neither did the person, neither did your boss discuss it with you and say that this will be taken. It's already said. You don't go to the public. I've said this repeatedly, and this is normal in media relations. Don't say to the public that which your boss has not reached a resolution on. Even if the journalists query you to the core, don't mention anything like that. Why you shouldn't? Because if you did, you will be placing your boss in a confused, tricky situation. The expectation will be high, and the expectation wouldn't be met. And once the expectation is high, there is the curiosity to hear or to see. Once they are not hearing and seeing anything of what you have earlier told them, they will not take to any, or will not take serious any other thing you will have said beyond that. So the retreat omitted. And the other side of it, in my opinion, if the retreat omitted that, it doesn't say that individual ministers should not proceed to declare their assets. Assume that the retreat didn't mention anything like that. It is an obligation. It is not a choice, not an opportunity, not a favor. No.
Not a chance.
It is an obligation. Individual ministers constituting or in this government have every compulsion to go and declare their assets. But you wouldn't argue on this long. Why? Because the president is lenient. And this is the typical Liberian presidency. If you ask about the Liberian presidency atmosphere, this is what you are saying. From time to time, president after president have always been lenient on certain things. And that is why our governance isn't strong. This is why our culture is so weak. Because the very breaking of the system, the man who has all of the power, the imperial power, to enforce from the executive standpoint as the president is lenient. President after president, not only President Joseph Hima Boaga, we've seen president after president. There are certain things, not that it is not to their knowledge, they are aware, and they know the importance, they know the contentious nature of it, but they will just play the slow game. And at the close of the day, you will not find the people implementing. But these are the very people who will query other people. So if the president did not take action, or it didn't come up in the cabinet meeting, it doesn't say that individual ministers of government should not go to declare their assets. But didn't I tell you that bulk, before it was announced and when it was announced, didn't I tell you that bulk of President Joseph Yuma Boaga ministers will not declare their assets? And LHCC should not play the sycophantic game. LHCC will not. What we saw LHCC doing, except LHCC will tell us that they were not playing to the gallery of a certain group or government. Yeah, what I mean. When we were in the 2023, going into the 2023 elections, and in the 2023 elections, and at the close of the 2023 elections, which was the regime of former President George Weah, LHCC came out repeatedly with names of delinquent and non-delinquent individuals who declared their assets and who didn't declare their assets. We will take LHCC list and bring it on the air and read all of those names, because it was public information and it stayed public information. Everybody hail LHCC for that. LHCC now in this time cannot tell us that they have lost or that it is not important to publish. As much as LHCC published those people's names and it was read in the press, it was read on the radio, it was carried in the press, LHCC has to do the same thing. Let us read the compliant and non-compliant individuals. Not to do that will create the perception that LHCC favors this government and was against the we are government. I said perception. Perception is entitled, or people entitled to perception. Yes? Because we read a thing, LACC will send a book, or we'll go on LACC website, we'll take the name. We saw all the CDC people who ain't declared their assets till now. They ain't show one paper. We call all of their names. Those who declare their assets, we call their names, which was very good. Everyone lauded LACC. Why now LACC was scaled down on government officials who have not declared their assets? It is a public information. It is not a choice, not a privilege. LACC is not rendering any one of those government officials favor. It is an obligation. If they are not complying, LACC must tell the whole world that these officials of the Bouaka government have not declared, they have not shown any sign. Release the document, let everybody know. The president said there will be no business as usual.
Certainly, LACC, let's say LACC will not have to do things to endow themselves, right? The Liberian people are watching this government with regards to their performance, and not a component of the government, people will sit and do business as usual, as the president has framed at people who have opted doing business as usual. The LACC will have to be very proactive. We don't need any retrogressive, performance in any of the component of the government. The LACC earlier came out with their position on the assets declaration, and they had their position, and the press secretary Kula Fofana came out with a statement, a strong one against the LACC report. So it applies that LACC lied. Iyamoshi has come out and said LACC lied to us, and they didn't come up with a specific figure to tell us whether LACC was lying. This is the real figure. But then in the cabinet, retrieve they had, we expected this assets recovery issue to have been wholeheartedly discussed there, and as it was being considered, or as we were being acknowledged that the president was having his cabinet retrieve, and one of those things to have been discussed there has to do with the assets recovery issues. So we as Liberians, we have opted seeing exactly the difference between this government and previous government, but we yet to see why previous government, not one or two officials who ever made their position clear on the assets declaration, to have a difference in appearing with this government. The government took on, and we have opted seeing difference between their leadership and the past leadership. The past leadership, we never saw people like the LACC coming up with report that no more people declare assets, or no more people who were appointed by former President George Weah, and they have refused to declare assets. Even if it was so, this government came and committed themselves to leading by difference. So if you have committed yourself leading by difference, there should be a distinction into everything you want to do. The assets declaration, the president, like Sam said, it should be a burden upon every minister or appointees of the government by President Joe Bouaka to declare their assets, to exonerate themselves from the doubt about corruption in the government. Any public official who will not declare their assets, it creates suspicion, it creates the doubt, where citizens will feel that you have gone in that position to exploit, people or whoever that will have an association with that office. If you declare your assets, it exonerates you from corruption, it exonerates you from squandering public benefits in the position. So LACC and the press secretary say LACC lie. LACC will have to be careful on how they go about, defending their statement. Come up exactly with the number of people who have declared assets, because earlier you came up and said like 75% out of the 500. So the 75 persons were not named, but the Liberian people were a bit convinced on the number you came up with. Kula came and said, you lie, because all of the 500, she said, there are more people who have declared access more than the 75 as you claim as LACC. But she did not give us a specific amount of people who have declared access. Coming up next by LACC, what we expect from you now will be, if you will come up with a particular figure, tell us these are people who have declared their access. And these are, if they choose to make it, confidential, you can make it confidential, but tell us exactly who are those and what are those positions they occupy that have declared their access, so as people can know exactly, people who have declared their access, to know whether LACC is telling the truth or Kula Fofana is telling the truth. Who is telling the truth at the moment? People will say LACC is telling the truth. But to go beyond and substantiate your claim that exactly is 75 persons who have declared access, you need to come up with the list of people who have declared access and will be proving Kula wrong. And Kula also will have to come up with her own listing to tell us exactly the more than 75 persons who have declared access, so she can convince us and substantiate her claims that LACC lie. Until then, Kula lie. And LACC will have to do what we term to be very bold. Don't tell me because you feel Kula is directly to the president that you want to manage information and stuff, but it will be going against, the integrity of the LACC. LACC, the Liberian people depending on you. Do not mortgage your integrity. Do not embellish the interest of the people. Do everything that requires per your terms of reference, so as to the Liberian people can be on top of the information, so they can believe who's telling the truth and who is lying.
Before we get to the line to have your say, let's acknowledge some of you who have come on lately. Hilton Wole Jedo, you've come on from Logan Town. Yumotro Kringa, you're following from the United States of America. Ambassador Delino Roosevelt, is it Zawe or Zoe Senior? You are following from District 15, Bushro Island. Dearest Bromskin, you've come on from Cinco, 16th Street. Ambassador B.B. Jones, you didn't say from where you are following, but you are following. Good that you've on. Alhaji Fofana, you've come on from Istanbul Community, Central Matadi, you often refer to it. Cover Menza, you've come on from Tunis, that's Turin, Italy, that's good. And James Stoker, you've come on from Magibi County. Okay, so let's run through some of the comments that you left on. Chechepole woman saying, it is not just now the issue, referencing the University of Liberia. She said, imagine students sitting for the test and instructor asking for 100 United States dollars. She's saying that they take bribe. Yeah, but it is an open something we've seen.
Open secret.
We've seen it a couple of times. I've seen it over there. One time I was at the University of Liberia, it being years now. I saw that in Ellen's regime, the latter part of Ellen's regime, the university, the instructor was administering the exam. And we walk in, we had gone not on information matter, but something else, in the hall outside. And we saw a plastic bag. This is no denigration, no disrespect to the university, but that's what we saw. We saw a plastic bag. And the guy and I walking, I asked, well, what the plastic bag doing there? And he was honest. A student of the university, he said, boy, you know, you being in Liberia, that's the culture now. Okay. but it happened in most African countries. So let's move now to you have your say.
Just imagine, Sam, the University of Liberia, like I was like emphasizing on how they're supposed to be very decent, among various universities in Liberia. So, just imagine, Sam, the 10,034 candidates that register for the university entrance, they pay $20 US per entry registration, and the $20 US equivalent is 3,800. So if you do the mathematics, Sam, you say 10,000, let's say 3,800. You time it by 10,034 candidates. The university generated $38,129,200 Liberian dollars. Imagine, Sam, that's the money they collected just to go on entrance that they got over 8,000 person fee the TESO. The University of Liberia generated $38,129,200 Liberian dollars as entrance fees. If you convert it to US,
let's get to the line as quickly as possible. Our guests are already in the building. Let's not eat their time.
Okay.
They pay from 4 to 5. Let's not eat.
Okay.
0770-907-907, 0770-907-907, 0770-907-907. The number to have your say on these three topics. After the guests leave at 4:50, well, it's going to be, you know about the Igbo Math and Elton deal, eh? Okay. Do you know 0770-907-907? Let me tell you something. Life is truly, I hear people say that, I am getting to believe that statement now, that life is a cycle. Hello? Hello, you are on, Chief. Hello? 0770-907-907. Hello? Okay, if you're not coming through on 0770-907-907, then try 0776-3640-45. Hello?
Hello.
Your name and where you called from?
My Alice, I'm calling from Leon Street.
Let's hear you, Alice.
Yeah, they throw back and call me, they just can't wait now. Everything I laugh. They're lying. Now I want to see.
All right, thank you. 0770-907-907, 0770-907-907. The number is to have your say. Hello? Good afternoon. Let's hear you. Your line is cracking. You want to change your location? No, your line is not conducive. Hello?
Yes, sir. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, my name is Mr. Colley. I call from Lagos, sir.
Let's hear you, Mr. Colley.
Yeah, thank you so much for the topic of discussion, my brother. Also, thank you to our co-host. My brother, this government is not serious. They say it was free. The government campaign also many messages that they are not even implementing one. The president talked about declaring access and publishing it. I deal with access, declare it, no publication. Look at LACC. That's the first two statements for LACC and other Kulafufana. LACC is saying that it's institution that is responsible.
No, the emphasis of the discussion is the omission of it at the 3 days cabinet retreat.
They did not discuss it. What we're discussing.
Yeah, so I just want to add on to what you just saying. Where Kula said that LACC were lying, or people who declared access they were beyond from the side, LACC lying, LACC is doing different things. So what I'm saying is the entire government just giving a lie. They can be on lies. They still continue with that lie. And better got to stay strong as a brain and fight against the police state and let's run the government.
Thank you for calling. Have a nice Monday afternoon. Hello.
Hello.
Your name and where you called from?
Yeah,
Let's hear you. Go ahead, Henry.
Yeah, my brother, you know, when we tell people something, sometimes they say we are lying. But my brother, the government is total lie. The first thing, and when you look at the other lie, they did it one time. The company minister to our statement that we have series of meetings will very important, and then the people will apply. So when the next day the president will
Chief, you want to stick to what we discussed. We can deviate. That's not how talk show runs. What you hear is what you comment. If you not favor or you don't like that, you don't comment. You stick to what is being discussed or what was discussed. Hello?
Okay.
Your name? Yes, your name and where you call from.
Yeah, thank you. This is Emmanuel Richardson, and I joined the conversation from Upper Carwell. And look, let me tell you this to you, right? When I hear people saying, "Oh, the government can't do succeed," for me, I always doubt it because Honorable Walker and other people, they highly to represent we are done when it comes to after the declaration to propose declare the affairs before entering government. People criticize and put all kinds of things. And when it comes to the NCC, for me, I'm very disappointed because, look, 2023 NCC were acting and they were campaigning against George Weah. Every time we wake up in the morning, you will see late. You will hear on radio the other person declare, and the other person not declare. Why Honorable Walker, President Walker, who has not reached, NCC is not really reporting the after declaration. They don't want to lose their job or what? I don't really get it. So if people are telling us that United Party government and nobody there is no integrity institution to check the government. Everybody is president, let them lead anything want to do, they can do it. But I say to elaborate people, this government not mean well for you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Hello? Hello? 0770 907 907 0770 907 907. Hello?
Yeah, how are you?
Fine, and you?
Yeah, I'm okay. This is Oscar. Yeah, calling from Napa.
Let's hear you, Oscar.
So my brother is in this country will not really know what is happening. But I don't bring the president, I bring the opposition. Definitely CDC. If the CDC was there, if the CDC was in the position of the opposition party, but now all of these things that is happening would have been understanding it.
So what is it now? What are you saying? You haven't said anything yet. You're only putting out sound. What have you said? What's the specific?
I'm trying to say in short, when they are signed the LSTC, and now the LSTC were when they are signed, the opposition will buy into what the LSTC are saying. They are saying, hold on the thing, the government don't want to declare their assets, the government offer stealing, they are going for 3 months, we can't hear what is happening, and the LSTC are consistently saying that yes, indeed, this government don't want to declare their assets, and it's just going. So what I'm trying to say is
Chief.
the government, they take it into it, is that the citizens of women are yesterday there, and also not as the way they were brought under administration.
Thank you. Thank you. Have a nice day. Hello? Hello?
Hello, brother.
Good afternoon. Your name and where you've come in from?
How are you?
I'm good. And you?
I'm Ayuba Escalon calling from Broad Street.
Let's hear you, Ayuba.
A long time. My brother, we should be proud of the government. We should be a group of the God. Thank you so much for the government. For the thing that we see coming in this country.
We're not talking spirituality or we're not spiritualizing anything. You want to go to the specific. We talk three things, yeah. What's your say on either one of those three? It's not we should be grateful to government or praise government.
But what I want to say, my brother.
Yeah, but go straight to the point, Chief.
The point I'm going to, my brother, let the black people try and be uncomfortable to the government and pray for the nation. Enough is enough.
Pray for the nation, but the nation, they tell you, the people are not praying for the nation, that you will say it. You should not even be saying it. You should get on your knees, be praying. Yeah. Pray for the nation, pray for the nation. Go to the Liberia Council or churches. Telling the people who hold the 3-day fast, they pray for the nation. You're listening to Bits and Pieces on Voice of Liberia 104.1, Voice of Liberia 89.7, Voice of Liberia 90.7, Monrovia, Kakata, Mangibi, and several community radio stations we are heard on across the country. You can also log on to www.voiceofliberiaradio.com. That's the online radio. Our guests are in Robin Yankan, Wilfred Giwan, and James Kiawo. They are all in, and they are from the disabled community. They've come to explain what they got on mind and what they can suggest or expect as the best way forward regarding their situation. So let me say, Robin, Wilfred, James, you're welcome to the show, Bits and Pieces, on Voice of Liberia 104.1.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Our pleasure.
Thank you, Mr. Andrew. I think this is my second appearance.
So, where are we with your situation? What is unfolding?
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Andrew. Quickly, before we go into the discussion, I sent you our petition on WhatsApp. I want you to check it on your number. A few minutes ago,
you already that you yourself will explain your petition.
Yeah. All right.
When I explain it, there's no need for you to talk again.
Okay. So, no, just for you to
I have it. That's why I said what was it? Because you are aware.
All right. So, Andrews, we are on the banner Inclusive Educators of Liberia. So the Inclusive Educator of Liberia is a conglomeration or a collaboration of all persons living with disabilities who are in the teaching field or who are in teacher college, okay, all across the country, the Republic of Liberia. So this movement was formed on the 13th of April, and the essence of the funding of this movement is movement.
The name fine, I'm not quoting you. It's a beautiful name, Inclusive Education of Liberia.
Inclusive Educators of Liberia.
I think this is the first.
Yeah.
We have heard names similar, but yours is completely different.
Yeah, that is how to tell you that we are educators and we must be creative. So the Inclusive Educators of Liberia was established to advocate for the rights of teachers living with disabilities in Liberia. So to speak, the marginalization that we as teachers with disabilities have been going through over the years and from regime to regime. And we have our first meeting on the 13th and on the 22nd to tell you how fast we were or we are. On the 22nd, we made a peaceful assembly at the Ministry of Education with several issues. Okay, first of all, persons with disability when they graduate from various teachers.
You took along your petition?
Yes, to petition the new minister proper, Madam Jaso Jala.
Did they come out to meet you? Did the minister or any one of her deputies come out to talk?
Yes, we had the assistant minister for general education, general administration, sorry, Mr. Irisin Bwaka, and Mr. Irisin Bwaka being an instructor of the Lacoses College of Education, who has been a teacher to many of those teachers we had along with us. And then we also have Mr. Albert Samunka, who is the chief of office staff from the Minister of Purpose office, coming down to also receive our petition. So in our petition,
we told them, we said that persons with disabilities getting teacher's degree are not benefiting the merit of their education. We get the degree, and at the end of the day, the degrees are found under the pillowcase and in the dustbins, and at the end of the day,
What do you mean by that? It is not recognized, not accepted?
What I mean, because it is not being practicalized when the Ministry of Education is not employing us as disabled teachers, okay? We have said this in terms of our numbers and worked to the Ministry of Education in terms of our numbers, and we are still yet to be recognized, and we are graduating from reputable institutions. Some of us have a C certificate in teacher education, some of us have AA degrees, some of us have bachelors, and even I was sitting behind the microphone, I have a master's in special inclusive education from the Kerala University in India. So when we acquire all these degrees, we realize that the marginalization in the educational sector of Liberia is at a high level, to the extent that other teachers are employed, leaving out persons with disabilities. It will even amaze you to note, Andrew, that even the very blind school that should be employing, or that blind teachers should be employed to, you have people who can see, who don't even have the specialty in teaching a blind person employed to those schools, to be particularly the Liberia School for the Blind, which is a government school, okay? So over the years, those are the things, those are the scraps that we have been going through, and it's causing our education to become waste. If you go now on Broad Street and Vamama and Douala and other places, you'll find some blind people there begging, but when you interview them, they will tell you that I graduated from teacher college, I got C certificate, I got AA degree, but because they got nothing to do, they end up continuing to become street medicans.
Let's hear from the other guys. Kawu, is it Kawu?
Yes.
And what's the other man?
Rubin.
Rubin?
Yeah. So again, activist James Abraham Kiau, in continuation of what Mr. G1 said, if you read our petition, we have like 4 counts. And one of our counts, Mr. Andrew, if you visit the Ministry of Education, there is an exclusive bureau, which is called the Inclusive Department. And that department, by law, was set up particularly to look at students with special needs, that is, students with disabilities. And the act that bring into existence of that department, if you read that act clearly says that there should be a director with who shall be a competent and qualified persons with disabilities, which shall serve as a director of that department. And the same act states that there should be 3 program officers who shall be a person with disabilities. One shall serve as a program officer for visual impaired, a program officer for the deaf, and a program officer for physically challenged, that is, those who are found in wheelchairs and using cross sticks. But since the enactment of that department, leadership in time past have not been able to have a person with disabilities employed in that department. Today, if you take a visit to that department, Brother Andrew, most time, the office of that department, the door is more often closed. If you visit that department from Monday to Friday, perhaps maybe only one time in a week, you see that door being open. We have observed and noticed that those non-disabled employees, that were placed in that department, most of them hardly goes to work, and they are not even seeking the interests of persons with disabilities. It will be amusing to know that since the issue of bilateral scholarship at the Ministry of Education, we have not had a single disabled person that have benefited from a bilateral scholarship leaving Liberia, going abroad to study. So we are saying this time around, under the banner of the Inclusive Educators Liberia, we are saying we are educated enough, sufficiently to take care of our own bureau as it is in other countries. When you do research, Malawi, the Inclusive Bureau under the Ministry of Education in Malawi is being headed by persons with disabilities in Raya, in Ghana, Sierra Leone, Nigeria, Zimbabwe, South Africa.
Except for you guys, James, except for your organization, but we are aware that there are visually impaired individuals like you guys qualify who are within a couple of institutions in Liberia.
Such as?
You aren't aware since you got on the earth?
No, but you have the information.
Yeah, you have. So you can provide information as an investigative journalist.
Nothing exists.
And you ought to dismiss him.
No, listen. No, don't say, bring it out. Because if I brought it up, you will have a dissenting opinion.
Same. So, if we are going by what you are saying, then we will say there is a law enacted that says to every government agency and ministry, same, among every 100 non-disabled employees, there should be four persons with disabilities.
Now qualified.
So for 96 should be non-disabled, while 4 should be persons with disabilities to every government agency and ministry. So that was a law legislated during Malanseri regime. But the big question is that law being fully implemented?
No.
And I would say no.
No, to come to that, Sam, we have our focus is on education.
Education, yes.
Since the existence of the Ministry of Education, not a single disabled person has been employed
at the head office
to work at that ministry.
At the head office.
To be represented at the Ministry of Education. We see that to be an affront to our education. We see that to be a disservice to persons with disabilities.
And when you guys went at the Ministry of Education, what did they tell you?
Well, when we got there, we were scheduled to a meeting. And in that meeting, we have like 3 assistant ministers in that meeting. We have Jonathan Jackson, which is the assistant minister for physical affairs at the Ministry of Education. We also had in that meeting the assistant minister for general administration, which is Bokal Ellison. And we also have the assistant minister for teacher education.
Yes.
He was also in that meeting, and they did have us informed that there were going to be a conclusion meeting the next week. And since we had that meeting, we are approaching a month. We haven't heard from them. Whenever our spokesman, Mr. G1, plays a call to them, they keep promising we'll get to you. Sometimes they will not even answer our calls. The only reason we have not been able to galvanize our guys, because we want to give them, a benefit of the doubt. Because if they refused to listen to our cry, to have our Plan B implemented, because we told them there's not going to be business as usual. If we go to school and we achieve, there must be a value addition to our education. If they refuse, we are going to regroup our guys. Most of our guys in the rural area, like we speak, we are being able to gather now over 300 disabled educators.
So
300 disabled educators, and most of whom have agreed
over the period of
from April to current. This
3,000.
300. Yes, this network has been able to governance over 300
and get the full number of 300 disabled
and
teachers.
most of whom have agreed.
Apart from those ones that are institutional, like the Association of the Blind and others, they are with you. You persuaded them to form part, or you are chartering your own codes.
They are also affected. So one way or the other, they support us, but we are honor abandon inclusive educators of Liberia. When I say they are affected, under the previous UP government, under the government of Madam Erin Johnson Sirleaf, every special schools or every schools that are run under the influence of persons living with disabilities used to receive subsidies through the Ministry of Education, okay? But since 2018, that subsidy was cut off. About 11 schools that used to benefit from that subsidy were dropped without a reason, without a tangible, and we have been to that ministry under our Minister D. Ansu Sonin. We walked there times without number. and we did not get any redress until the new government. So part of that petition, we are also asking that every school, special schools that were dropped from that subsidy be reinstated, okay, so that they can receive subsidies so that blind or disabled or students can acquire not only better education, but quality education in Liberia.
So to just conclude and to give Mr. Yinkan the time, back at the Ministry of Education under the Bureau of Inclusive, past in time, we have had this lady called Teresa Garrett. Teresa Garrett, this lady has never been in the interest of students with disabilities in Liberia. So part of our account, we told the Minister of Education that we don't need Madam Teresa Garrett serving as a director for that department for the fact that she does not have any form of disabilities, and moreover, she's not schooled in the field of disabilities. She has no technical ideas, because since her sentencing to that position,
yeah, makes no difference.
Yeah, there have been no difference. So we are saying, since we as persons with disability have the technical know-how, we are saying that let the ministry give her the chance to occupy and serve in that department that will bring some level of transformation as it is in other countries around Africa.
Yankan, come in.
Yeah.
Have your say.
Well, thank you for inviting me. Saying Capital FM like today, I'm sitting with you again. So,
Get close. Come closer to the mic.
I will take it this way, right? The government, the need of the government is sweet, and I hope and sure they will rescue every one of us. Because if you look up in Liberia now, we are the best people to rescue. Like someone else, we in the teacher college in Lagos, we have for me, I have my AA degree, and now
you in the teachers college?
Yes, I have my AA degree, and I had a C certificate. Then I'm there now doing the BSc. By the grace of God, next I'll be coming up. But the Ministry of Education we are discussing today, like we went for that meeting, my closing statement to them was, I hope it will fall on good ground, because time with all numbers, we have been saying the thing. And you see someone out on the street, and not because we don't want to be in office, or because we don't want to be in the classroom, because if we carry a document, me and the children, we start in school. We do the same grade, or I scope at them. But because they have the physical fit and I don't have, yes, they put my document aside and take their children, and their children working today. And I know many of them. So I want for you to appoint 2 to 3 ministries that disabled person. We are disabled person working. No. That they add, like my brother was quoting, 4 persons will be employed in each ministry and agency. Which are the ministry happening? None. So we the disabled people, at the end of the day, what do we want? We want employment. They are the politicians. 2029, 2027, what are they doing? They coming to the disabled people. They will not pick among our vote to say the people, they are blind people, they are not vote go on inside, or they are disabled people. No. But when the time for job, our document is different from the children. Like the ministry, the bureau my brother was stating. The assistant minister is going to be a disabled person. For TV, it's going to be disabled person. But go there now. They rescue.
Is that what the accept?
Yes, yes.
That position is ascribed to a disabled person?
Yes.
In fact, what they clearly did, they combined 2 positions into one.
Yes. 3, in fact 3.
Yeah,
when I came from India, 2023 with my master's in special inclusive, no one have occupied that position that has a master's in inclusive education. So by way of right, that bureau should be a separated bureau.
How one person
but
will
now,
be using 3 positions?
They make it science, technology, TVET, and inclusive education. Just to confuse. Even upon my return, I met President Bwaga when he was then elect, before we could go for inauguration. Okay? And there was an assurance that that position would have been given to a disabled person, so that person with disability can be represented.
The president, did you say you sat with the president
I'm telling
prior
you,
to his
prior to his
inauguration?
inauguration.
You talked about
I was
that,
even
and he
on-
told you that it was going to be given to a disabled.
Yes, I was placed even on a transitional team.
On a
I
cluster.
was on cluster 7. Cluster 7 was clothed with the responsibility to do the turnover for the Ministry of Education from the minister proper down to all the directors.
And you believe him
And
when
I
he
was
said
on
that?
our team.
You believe him when he
Okay.
said that to you?
Oh yeah, because he the president.
I have to believe him because he was elected as a president to show all the responsibility of all citizens of Liberia. That's part of your disabilities or your economic status or your creed or ethnic background. So I believe him.
So nothing is happening now.
Zero.
You are
Only-
uncomfortable.
only
So
to-
did you attempt to go back to the person who gave you the
You will
insurance?
never see
Only
me.
to come to realize that somebody was appointed who do not even have a specialty, a degree in inclusive education. And if the educational sector or if education for this person with disability must improve, must benefit person with disability, we need a direct representation, okay? Since that bureau, the Bureau of Special and Inclusive Education was established since 2008, we have not had a single representation up to present, okay? Up to present.
So let me conclude now. So, Brother Andrew, people may say yes, they appointed Noah Gacy or to NCD. Noah Gacy was a partisan. So the only thing they had to do to Noah to pay him.
No, I'm partisan.
Okay,
I raised the issue. You query me. You're saying
No.
I should come on and give you an
No.
example.
Yeah, but we are
and you
talking about-
know that there are a number of
Hey,
disabled
man.
persons
Mr. Andrew,
in the
Mr.
various
Andrew,
for me,
areas
hello,
of-
I'm
of-
particular
of
on
governance.
education.
Mr. Andrew,
I'm particular on education because
Yeah,
say,
Fred,
if you are not
wait.
educated, you won't sit behind a
No,
microphone.
Freddie, wait, Freddie. Younger?
Yeah, Mr. Andrew.
When I raised the issue, you took exception to what I said.
Yeah, the
And
asset.
now you are referencing it. Prior to that, he referenced it, but you put it on
Yeah.
partisan
No.
ground. It's not about partisan.
Okay, Mr.
sir.
Andrew, Mr.
But-
Andrew, Mr. Andrew.
No, I
Yeah.
guess you're just a one person.
Mr. Andrew, the asset, now the 6th person should be what? 7, and what? The 4th person should be what? Disabled person. Are they happening? And now we don't want to continue in the law. The legislature
You
passed
the
it.
NTA that Noah is being appointed
same
as
law.
a deputy,
The 4 persons should be there.
deputy managing director. He's the only disabled person there.
And the
He's
same
the
law
only
states,
disabled person
and the
there.
same law states that 4% is going to be a presidential appointees.
It happening?
So Noah is not even 0.1%.
Of course.
Of course.
0.1%.
So,
Ali,
Andrew,
yes, it's
let's
not even
go to the educator,
0.1%.
yeah? Let me go to
so
the
let's,
topic,
so,
right?
so let's stick to
The Ministry of Education, they are playing deaf ear with disabled students, disabled teachers. I'm one of the person that apply from Marlon Study term to Georgia term. The School of the Blind, the principal that
You apply as what? To teach?
as teachers.
As teacher to be
Listen,
involved.
What
listen.
school?
I apply to become one of the teachers.
You
In
serve
any
as
school.
volunteer at the Liberia School.
You
for the
send
Blind.
you
I
send
come in
your
Frederick
you,
Living.
wait now. Let's take it one by one
Yeah,
so
we're
that
thinking.
we flow literally.
Yeah, we're
so
thinking.
you say you apply.
I apply. I have a letter
Not
copy.
a specific school. So the communication was sent to the Ministry of Education that will make the determination where
Yes.
you go.
Okay, listen now. Ele Dobo, which one they were? The Deputy Minister for Instruction. They called the principal for the School of the Blind. This is the person that want to be a teacher. But the only place we can send him that to the School of the Blind. But we need a letter of recommendation. You know what my colleague told me? Justin Soa, he's a blind man than myself. He said no. He said no. And before then, 2016,
Teachers.
2016, he invited me, Ruby, I want for to be a volunteer teachers so we can help our brother. I said, all right, I serve our volunteer teacher for 1 semester. The HR asked him to just do a letter of recommendation for me. He said no. And he been there since 2011. And other people have been affected for that guy. So in one of our petition, we told the minister, assistant minister, and who said what I was
That
there,
he should be replaced.
that we should be replaced. Because they shoot at my phone, It hurting me, but you, Mr. Andrew, you not know. When you see all walking on the street, say, oh, the poor, government taking care of them. No. Show me one place that the government taking care of them. And we had a rescue team, right? The rescue team need to rescue every one of us, especially us. How can be rescued? By employing me, I will not be on the street to be begging. My degree, I will not put it on my mattress. Because no job for me. And the school of the blind, it going up the wall, now free.
But the rescue train just landed.
Mr. Andrew?
They say you have to give the rescue chance to settle.
Mr. Andrew?
They're trying to settle.
Mr. Andrew, hey, Mr. Andrew, if the Christmas will be good, what happened to it?
Start on the eve.
Start on the eve. So 5 months. That's a fast month now. We're not seeing anything. So let me assure you. Let me say this, what I can say to the other guys. Today, our petition to the Minister of Education or to the ministry, if we can hear no regret from now to the 5th, we will care our mattress, we care our copa, we will sleep to the Minister of Education until
our bathing buggy.
Everything will be there. Thank God they get bathroom there. We will not rest until the Minister of Education will put blind people or disabled people on payroll as civil servant in the country. Enough is what enough.
So
Mr. Andrew,
the 300 will assemble at the Ministry of Education.
We will do that.
Of course, Mr. Andrew.
People are waiting to pay their own way to come from
and we will invite your journalists or you yourself to come there.
And Mr. Andrew, the issue of our employment, we are not limiting
But you'll be
it.
causing problem, oh?
No, not problem. No, not problem. It is our right. If you read the United Nations Convention on the Rights of...
starting the work of the government or the Ministry of Education.
No, not starting. They would like for us to start. Right. It is our right. It is our right. The governor of voice is
as long as they won't listen, the same as long as you
the child will tell man say, you will not sleep. The child will not sleep.
Well. Mr. Andrew, the issue of us getting job employment, we need not to even protest for it. The Liberian government signed the United Nations Convention on the Rights of Persons with Disabilities 2012. And all countries that signed that international
are trying to live up to it.
But James,
you are on a full obligation.
I can understand your position. I can understand your position in the history. You try to prefer which is the law is on the book.
Yeah.
But what Yankan is saying is, if you look at it, you got short time and you need redress. You want employment. You want to have improved status. And from now to the 5th, it's short. You're talking about...
It's not short.
It's not short. When I say short, in terms of getting your people, organizing people to get there.
Andrew, I will speaking here now. Nima listen to you. I will speaking here now. Grandpa listen to you. Are you speaking here? Kakata listening to you. Or they listening to us. So if anything we say here, they will they will listen to us and we will call.
And moreover, we started this engagement, like my colleague said, the 21st of April. So at least we are giving them a month plus. They have been doing back and forth. The only reason we have not governance our people is that we want to give them at least a chance that just in case when we regroup, we are going to remain there until our people's CV will be sent in, until our people need to be placed on the payroll for the fact that the Ministry of Education was given extra 5 million.
So Mr. Andrew,
5 million.
Let me play to your attention. I think that on the 2nd of February, right, we carry CV to the marshal. We carry CV.
Your TV are put in the dustbin.
We receive a CV, the political advisor for the president.
How many CVs? How many copies?
More than
60.
More than 100
persons.
How many copies? Alfred, how many copies you carry?
We carry more than 60 CVs of qualified persons living with disability. They were received by Madame Mandela Cooper, the advisor to the president.
What did Mandela Cooper tell you?
She assured us.
She assured us that we were going to be contacted.
Yes.
From that day to now. To no avail.
February, March, April. What did you hear?
You did a follow-up with her?
Many times.
Yes.
Many times.
They follow. I believe those documents are being
Those
put in the
follow-ups,
dustbin,
those
they are
follow-ups
being
you did with her, you got
showing-
through to her, and she received the document.
She will get
earlier.
to us. She will get to
From
us.
the day-
she
from
told
the
you.
day, from the day we carry it, she will get to us. She will get to
contacts
us.
were all taken. She said we'll get back to you in subsequent time. The subsequent time is not.
So from February 2nd up to now,
has not come yet.
what happened to it? Because my eyeball closed up, because we get good for the work.
And Mr. Andrew, I'm still to believe that this government came with the mantra of rescue. I'm still trying hard to believe
How would the government
that
be
this
rescued?
government indeed is a rescue government.
And
For the
people are on the
fact
street.
that President Boka says to the nation that his mother was
A
once a
disabled person.
disabled lady in a wheelchair, I think if disabled people's life will be improved, it should be improved under this Boka regime.
But the first thing, the first thing they did,
should be improved.
the first thing they did
Government
from
should
mama,
legacy.
told I used to sit there and wait for Ali 2 cup of rest under the shades. What they did, they said the mayor went and broke everything down. So
that
they said
can
they are
have place to
rescued.
sit.
They said they are rescued.
And those
Go to
people now
Mama.
are standing under the sun.
Under the sun, under the trees.
Young, what did you just say?
I said,
Where disabled, visually
Hello.
impaired will
Hello.
gather
To Van Mama,
to
all
hello,
that
you.
shit.
hello,
The current city mayor,
St. Andrew.
listen now, the current city mayor, because we want to get it right so your people understand you good.
Yeah.
The current city mayor went and broke that shelter down.
say Ruben say, go
Demolish
there
the
now,
entire place.
go there now, they demolish the
So
whole
the
place.
people are standing under the
In fact,
sun
they
begging.
came to me, they said we should go to Honorable Foko, for Honorable Foko to help to talk to the city mayor so they can put that thing back. Or to now, nothing. Say Ruben say the rescue team.
The people are begging under
They
the
said
sun.
they honor the sun, they
As
honor the
go
rain. When
there
the rain
now.
be coming, they can go there and have shelter. But for them now, no shelter. So what the rescue team for now? What they need to get themselves so they can rescue their
can't remove
family
the people.
members.
Their own pockets.
You can empower the people to take them from the street, but then you demolish.
So the Ministry of
place they sit.
Education is a
you
first place.
guys are sounding more political
No,
than
it's not so.
educational or employment.
No, we are
No,
not.
it's not so. Mr. Andrew, Ministry of Education, the first tackle on our docket. That the Ministry of Gender should
We are going to all the ministries,
ministries.
but we are starting on Ministry of
We start with
Education.
Ministry of Education.
We will visit every ministry one after another.
Thank God they're in the same place. You have more than 6 or 7 ministry in our
Ministerial
place, complex.
We'll
So
go
y'all
after
will-
Visit them.
Y'all will carry your mattresses.
When we finish
your,
with Ministry
your
of
bus,
Education.
your everything.
Yeah, bro.
Let me finish with Ministry of Education.
Say Andrew.
It'll be a juice
Say
area.
Andrew, Mr. Andrew, have you read the disabled revolution in America? Before
And
then,
in the UK.
in the UK, the disabled in America those
The
days, in
parliament was
the
under hostage
70s,
for
in the
3
60s,
days.
they were being discriminated, their rights were being violated. But the disabled came together on a movement, like similar movement like that we came together and established. And they all governed out themselves. They moved at the warehouse. They left there up to 3 days until the issue was solved.
It happened in the UK.
And even you saw it even when former President Donald Trump, he tried tampering with their benefit and wages. You saw they regroup at the warehouse. They left there until what were taken from their budget,
What
were
replaced.
replaced before they left. So we are about to do similar thing in Liberia.
Now, as we speak, the National Commission on Disability
they
was
were coming.
receiving 700,000.
They call it that 250,000.
The last budget of the National Commission on Disability is cut down to 200,000.
So that rescue
200,000. It's not 250.
Okay, 200,000. And today we speaking.
Initially it was
It was 700.
700,000.
The legislature, not a single lawmaker could even say, no, these people are persons with disability, they need empowerment, they need education, their lives need to be improved. But they cut the money down from 700 to 200. And it would behoove you to know, Andrew, that the government of Liberia, after every 4 years, make a report to the General Assembly of the UN, something they call shallow report, giving the status of persons with disability in the various countries that sound to the UNCRPD. And if you read one of the shallow reports of Liberia, you will
be
feel bad.
shocked.
You will be shocked that they will say all the good things.
So they gave the United Nations the impression that everything is
Everything
well.
is well.
It's good.
Everything is good.
Then you
In
get
the
one
Charlotte
single-
report.
To the Ministry of Justice.
I read one of the Charlotte report on Malanceli turn. They even said they have mobile a mobile passport team that used to go to persons with disability houses who could not move to register and give them passport to do their biometric, which was false and
Mr.
misleading.
Andrew, other than that we speaking, the NCD, which is the National Commission on Disability, is incomplete.
That showed the welfare of all persons with disability.
It's incomplete. You only had the deputy
Now,
director.
the president only appointed the executive director.
Executive director.
He's still yet to appoint the two deputies.
The two deputy.
The deputy
Yeah, but
for
he's
administration,
still
the deputy
appointing. He hasn't.
So you want
finished.
to tell me, Mr. Andrew, no codified decimal person apply?
No, only because they want to use that as our weakness. Okay, they want to use that as our weakness to continue to trample on us. Because if our number were completed, I don't think we'll be giving 200,000 instead of 700,000 or increment. Okay, because the one person cannot do it all. The director alone cannot do it all.
So the
director
rescue rescue us.
Need his possible deputies that will help him to do the pushing and the moving. Okay, so this government, I can see that this government is off a joke when it comes to the issue, and this is why we are. This is why we are sounding the caveat so soon. This is why we are sending this up to them as a caveat that the lives of persons with disabilities should not be looked at lightly, should not be taken for granted, because we have condoned it in past government. We will not condone it in this government. We will not
in
tolerate
the government
it.
and in any government to come.
In any government to come.
We will not take
we will
it
not
again.
tolerate it. So we are starting this soon. In fact, that's what we told Madam Jasso. Jara refused to come to us. She's according to them, she was in a field. We agree. Imagine a woman had gone to do county tour. She never even had a representative with her to tell her about the education of person with disability.
Yes, to assess
there
your
was
school.
no representative from the Special Inclusive Educational Bureau represented on our team to assess those schools that are whether they are inclusive or not. Okay,
or even whether
and
they
no
are
one to bring
accessible.
her to speed.
Of course.
Okay, and now I personally told her, said it to her special assistant or her chief of office staff that we are not doing this because we are against the minister proper, but we want to tell her what she has inherited. What she has inherited, if she now begin to transform it now, it will be like a millstone around her neck. It will be like a millstone around her neck. On a serious note.
Pressure her to do something.
She will do it.
That's what we. Thank God she has served for more than 20 years as the vice president of a prestigious university in the U.S. She should understand the education, the educational rights of persons with disabilities on the international scene, on the international setting. So she should not come to Liberia and it become a different ball game or it become a business as usual.
And
we will not tolerate that.
And the one that baffled me that actually makes this movement, Mr. Andrew, to be established, you will see that at the Ministry of Education, there are a lot of scholarships. But you will observe that
even local scholarship.
Disabled students are not even benefiting from local scholarship. You will observe that, Mr. Andrew, some of our disabled students have to go on the street to beg, to raise money.
I was sitting with
to
you.
pay their own school fees.
I was sitting with you. In
In
Lagos, I'm still renting people
to pay our school fees.
Of course. Just $225 US.
Yes, no scholarship.
No scholarship, nothing.
Yeah.
It's the same way you get money for feeding,
Zero.
clothe yourself.
Of course. Of course. No job.
What are you
The same
talking?
letter we can
People, I want to send you to school, they want to clothe you.
Of course.
The only thing they want to do when they see
No,
all
what I'm saying is, you said you do your own hustle to get money for your education.
There are a lot
Sir,
of
it's
people
the
in the
same
street.
that
It's the
it's the
same
same way that you look for money.
it's the same way we can
To do everything personal.
Everything
on
personal.
ourselves.
Everything personal.
But
Persons with
ourselves.
disabilities, majority, 90% of persons with disability are renting in different private homes. When their rents get expired and they cannot afford to pay the landlord with children out there, any ordinary person.
Besides where you guys are pushing across, what the organization has attempted
Which
or
one?
done for its members?
Which one?
Your group.
Which one?
Which group?
The disabled.
But what
association?
the disabled group?
You don't.
What they get?
You don't see any leadership, eh?
No.
Listen, Sam.
Sam,
The group you are talking about should be empowered by the very government. But if the government is not doing, look, the government, the cake, the national cake, should be distributed not only to able-bodied people, but we as persons with disability are the most needed people, okay, are the poorest of the poor. So if we are not taking care of, if we are not taking into serious consideration, what happened? Do you know, saying when people are running, going to America every day? Now as we speak, if a ship come down to Freeport, chair open the door and say,
I will be
"Who
the
all want
first
to go
person to
America?"
run there.
Minister will resign from the government and get on that ship to go. Do you know why people run to go to America?
But
Because there are opportunities for...
No disrespect, Freddie. No disrespect to your, but you will not get there on time.
That's what I'm saying.
The ship will have
You
already been
already be leaving. I'm saying this to say,
The minister will run.
Andrew, I'm saying this to say, America gave opportunity to every human being, every living human being. That's why people rush there. In the first place, when you look at the word disability is not your white king that you walk with to come to move around, or your wheelchair or your crutches that make you disabled. Andrew, you become disabled when you lack opportunity. It's because you have an opportunity. This is why you are sitting behind microphone today. Because you gave us the opportunity, this is why we claim the steps to come here today. So once anybody lack opportunity, they become more disabled. They were not able to contribute to society. So we are talking about opportunities. Don't look, you're looking at us as disabled, but give us the opportunity. I went to India. I sat with students. In the school I attended at the Kerala University, there were more than 21,000 students, international students. I was the only Liberian, blind Liberian, in that university.
Sorry.
But I performed because I was given the opportunity. This is why I left here, boarded the plane alone, get to India alone, get to my dormitory room alone, from the room to my bathroom, from the bathroom to my room and to my classroom alone. And I'm back in Liberia today because of what? Opportunity. So we are saying every government that comes should proffer opportunities for persons with disabilities.
And what someone can do?
Opportunities are there.
And Mr. Andrew, what someone can do? That is one person. Then you see that at the end of the month we're getting $10. No.
Yeah, whatever the fee they're giving.
No.
Yes.
And one of the things, Mr. Andrew, the Liberian government is not smartly looking at if the government of Liberia is not mindful of empowering and employing the disabled citizens, 10 to 15 years from now, we might likely have more Zogos. Yeah. What do I mean? Because,
disabled,
yes.
Zogo, visually
No,
impaired.
not Zogos. Not Zogo. Give me a chance. Those kids you see moving around with those disabled people early in the morning, not going to school.
But Andrew can see them.
And what have you, Mr. Andrew?
Yeah.
Those kids are not going to school.
Yeah, it's pathetic.
Yeah,
Some of them are their own children. Some of them are their
because
children.
their parents are unable,
they are unable to provide.
to afford school fees.
Yes, I
Mr.
get the
Andrew,
logic.
so,
In essence,
Andrew,
you're saying that the longer months or years,
Yes.
they too will acquire nothing.
Not
So
nothing.
Andrew,
Yes.
Andrew,
They will
if that child started hustling with
From
their
age 8,
grandmother
from
from
age
age 8
8,
until that child reaches
14 or 15,
the child will start to
without
get shame.
skills, without skills.
We ask you, the child now will start to get shame.
And the child
will
use
not
the
want
money.
to go out with the grandmother anymore
No
because
more.
of shame.
No skills.
Now what happens to that child? Either the child become prostitute, or
Or-
the child become cell phone checker, or the child start picking pocket or low income
course.
around here.
So we are saying it is time that
You see?
we are saying it is time the government.
So
see
government
it
pass,
necessary.
government comes. Persons with disability
Stay the same.
must
So if
be
it-
prioritized.
so
That's
if-
what we are
if-
saying.
If the government empowers or create the opportunities for you guys, then you wouldn't have any escort. You wouldn't have child taking
Of course.
people from one end
But
to another.
my one-
But
Walking
Andrew,
here.
those are the three are like
Only my
Did you
one.
see your
You came by
child
your,
first?
Yeah,
no.
Okay.
You came by yourselves.
Of course. So that shows that.
I bought a taxi to Balanceville Junction, and I disembarked the taxi right to Broad Street, and I embarked another taxi for the Babas here.
So it that shows that if today
I get on get from 17th Street.
Yeah.
So you have to say after
This is
put me down.
empowerment we are
And they put me
opportunity we are
down.
talking about.
Right?
If I now had the opportunity to be trained or given the opportunity to know the importance of moving for myself, doing things, I got children.
Did,
but why
did
do
I did I
don't
see
move
you?
with
Did
my
I see you
children?
guys coming in with your kin?
With our kings?
Yeah.
of course.
All right.
We were trained how to use our children we call mobility. Okay? We did our mobility techniques way back in the elementary. I was in the third grade, fourth grade when I started learning how to do mobility, how to move by myself.
I was in the ABC.
And
When I
today,
started with my
So
own.
you at a certain point in time you can move without the king.
no, move with the king. The king is
we
a
don't tell
guy.
you-
But you move when you're in your house.
No,
No,
my
no,
in my
no.
house,
I
if you
move
say my
with
in my
our
yard,
kids.
I move with okay.
Only when you are leaving your house.
Yes.
Oh,
Because
Mr.
for orchard,
Yeah, that's true.
purpose.
Oh, Mr. Andrew, once I visited Yaslido 2 to 3 times, once I studied the various locations of the microphone, the chairs, the placement of chairs, definitely I can move in the studio.
That's what we call
without my
opportunity.
cane.
You give them
in
an
what I view.
opportunity.
So before we get to the line, is this the last resort you guys are giving the Ministry of Education
So,
that if they can do anything beyond here, you will told the ministry
So,
until
Yes.
they can do something on your behalf.
Mr. Andrew, if the mountain can go to you, you do what? You move to the mountain.
And obviously, you know the mountain will not come to you.
And I know that the mountain will not come to me. So I moved the Ministry of Education several times. And what I requested for, and not to say I'm begging
No,
them to say,
Yanga,
please
what
help
I'm
me.
saying that you guys are here now. You guys are putting out your position, and your position makes every good sense for a redress. So beyond here, if nothing is done,
From now to the 5th.
I will call you.
From
I
now to
will
the
call you
5th
to the
of
Ministry of
June.
Education. You will see
start
our
the recalibration.
that's the
quota.
ultimatum
Yes.
from
now to the
to the
5th.
5th,
June
we'll
5th.
start to recalibrate.
That next Wednesday. They
But-
didn't say anything.
But we're not showing a particular date that we're somewhere is an specified date. But from now to the 5th,
From now to the 5th.
But,
we'll start to
but
recalibrate.
if you assemble on the 5th, you assemble.
No, we're
we're
not
not
going on the
saying on the
5th.
5th.
We ain't going on the
We are
5th.
saying
But
from now to the 5th.
why wouldn't you want to be specific
No,
on your
no.
assembly?
Tant intervenez.
We don't want to be as
Tant intervenez.
Then they will divert it.
It's
Yeah.
an unspecified
Tant
date.
intervenez.
We are giving them, but from now to the 5th, we need redress.
You are sensitive that the Ministry of Education
Mr.
will
And-
divert it by
They don't
going,
even- they don't
by
even
going
able to
into your
divert it.
group, by going into your group and influencing some of your guys.
They don't able.
Oh, no, they ain't
Mr.
able.
Andrew,
They're not able.
Mr. Andrew,
don't
you
even-
give me money. If they give me money, if they give me money, I will destroy you
It
more.
can happen, yo.
Mr. Andrew.
Politics.
Mr.
struggle.
Andrew,
We are educators.
the leadership,
We are
Andrew,
educators.
the leadership of this movement, this inclusive educator of Liberia, we are highly unbending. We are strict to issues.
Of course.
In what I view.
Mr.
We are
Andrew,
people of integrity.
Mr. Andrew,
we believe in a
I
struggle.
come to your studio today.
But do you know how many people have called us to
Hello?
start dialogue? We refuse.
Fred, let me ask you.
Wait,
Wait.
Yankan, wait. Did you say they called you to dialogue?
There are people that call to start dialogue. We say we cannot dialogue anywhere else except at the Ministry of Education.
And what were the conditions they put forth?
We don't even want to know the condition. One, it is not in
No,
the
but when
Ministry
they,
of
call,
Education.
when they call, they can tell you because of this, that, so they want you to call off certain things that you intend to do.
Listen, Sam, listen. One, it is not at the Ministry of Education and the requisite authority. I cannot subscribe to that dialogue.
So those
Somebody
those,
can now call me and say,
those
I'm
calls,
discussing
those calls
educational
did not
matters.
come from within the
Aha.
Ministry of Education.
They were pushing people.
Yeah, perhaps they are.
Okay, people
perhaps
who
they are
call
pushing.
themselves,
Perhaps they are pushing others outside
Aha.
of the ministry
People who call
to
themselves
have a
influence,
dialogue with us. In what I view.
people who are called the influential persons in the disabled community, they were using them to call us on the side. I can be discussing educational matter, and you call me to Ministry of Gender to discuss
So,
education matter. And you call me to Ministry of Health to
Sam,
discuss education
Sam,
matter. Definitely, I will not go there.
You talk about maybe some people call they say, but man, let's go 500 a year. I forget what I think. So if you give me that,
I told my future and
if you give
future.
me that $500, how long it will stay with me? For example, I come to you, you buy me bag of rest. You buy me bag of rest today. And this is May 27,
We
right?
go to without bag of rest
It will
with
carry
me.
me all the way to the end of the year? No.
Then you come back,
I will come back to you again? No. So
and you will come as a same go. You call it. So see your number saying you don't want to answer your call.
You tell me say, man, last month you only again, you not come by again.
So each of you have several dependents, eh?
Of course.
I'm married. I got married since 2012.
I get my children.
I got 4 kids.
Yeah, like me, I have 2 kids.
I get 2.
Some boys.
I have 2 girls.
I got 4 kids with my biological. I got 4 biological children with my wife. I had 2 children before getting married, so I got 6 children.
I get 2. They are twins.
So my children.
So how you explain for me for female children?
My first daughter is in the 11th grade. So I'm paying more than $48,000 $11.
And I'm begging we're doing. We're not
working.
Besides sustaining the home.
Besides sustaining the home.
Where you get the money from?
Like there.
Why want do also?
Maybe the way we can hear is man, the way you're growing, you have to know how we take it, we share.
No, for me, I'm an educator. I do my different teaching at private institutions.
Okay, that's
so
good.
Government needs to take
responsibility.
No, Mr. Andrew.
Government needs to take some responsibility.
Mr. Andrew, the school you're teaching, for me, I taught the Free Pentecostal Career Mission High School, right? But at 10 months. So after that 10 months, after the 9 months, where do I want to go? Like government, what government doing? Whether school close, school not close, they paying their people. And getting ready they're getting ready for the children to go to school for the next semester. But if it's not in my case.
Okay.
For me, Andrew, this advocacy is not about me. Like me, I've been teaching at university level more than 5 years now. I teach at AME University, I teach at UMU, I teach at Lacoste College of Education. It's not about me, okay? It's about my colleagues who graduate from various universities and teacher colleges. Now, as I speak, I'm the first blind lecturer at those universities.
What course you lecture at AME?
At AME, I'm teaching computer concept, introduction to computer.
That's good.
And in UMU, I'm teaching Braille. And in Lacoste, I'm teaching Braille, and at the same time, I'm teaching introduction to Liberian education.
That's good.
Okay? So, it is not about me. It is about seeing the disabled educational sector getting better day by day. And getting to those places, those private institutions to teach, it was not on a silver plateau.
No.
It was not, I was lying down in my bedroom and people called me. It was something that I pushed for. Okay? It was something that I pushed for. So I believe joining the struggle is something that I'm seeing that can happen.
Okay. So let's get to the line.
We need employment from the government.
Yeah.
Of course.
The rescue team.
If the private sector can do it, what the government can do it.
You're listening to Bits and Pieces on Voice of Liberia 104.1 Monrovia, Voice of Liberia 89.7 Kakatama Gibi County, Voice of Liberia 90.7 Bon County. My guests are Robin J. Yankan, Wilfred Giwon, and James Kiao of the disabled community. They are crying marginalization and discrimination by the Ministry of Education vis-a-vis the rescue government. 0770-907-907. You want to ask them whatever the question you got. 0776-3640-45. 0886-673-922. Hello? 0770-907-907. 0776-3640-45. Hello?
Hello?
Yes?
Yeah, I'm calling from the Oro, Peter, also, Esther M. Johnson.
What is your name?
I say I'm calling from the Oro, Peter, also. Now, I'm not well in there, but I listen to the radio. I appealing to the Ministry of Education to take complete control of the people's case because they are important in the society. Now, my brother, my man last born. He is blind. He on the street begging. Without getting part of that from the people, he cannot sustain. You hear? So the blind people, they are important in society. The disabled, they are important in society. I'm begging the rescue team that we voted for them. They should please look at these people and solve their problem. Ministry of Education, they want, and private. For the act here, I'm begging you. Just look at them and put the condition. Thank you.
I differ with it.
We want
Hello?
We want pity from
We
them.
want no pity.
Hello?
All right.
It's all right. It's all right to employment.
You are on the air, sir. 07709079070 08866739222 0776364045. Hello?
Hello.
Good afternoon. Your name and where you call from?
My name is Darius. I'm calling from the borough of Nikutan.
Let's hear you, Darius.
I'm feeling so head concerning about my disabled brother in our studio today. I'm so much about ministry of education, but I enjoy it. They will go to all the ministries down to the capital building.
You are disabled too?
I'm not disabled, see, but when I go inside on God Street, when I see my brother and begging,
You feel bad.
so sorry. I can be thinking that to say no government in Liberia, not because I'm a unity party. I'm going to say now that they be playing on our brother. They
Thank
be
you, my
fishing,
brother.
and I see people get made and win in the country. They will not turn back when the people go. We all I can see who will join them to that ministry.
Yeah, you join, my brother.
Y'all come.
You come.
Y'all come. Y'all be buying our water.
Thank you.
we drink it.
Hello? Yeah, your name and where you called from?
My name's Beatrice.
Yeah, let's hear you, Beatrice. Just move away from your radio.
Yeah, working away.
Yeah, let's hear you.
I just want to appreciate you for the topic on the discussion. Because we with disability, we are not respected.
At all.
Yeah, even in the community, they will look you, go anywhere. So say a whole lot of things to you. So
Okay, I took it as it
yeah, thank you very much for this.
Thank you,
Okay,
Beatrice.
man. Hello?
Hello?
Your name and where you call from?
I'm Alicia Trube calling from Banga Bon County.
Wow.
Let's hear you, Alicia.
Yeah, you know, some of those things when we see the disabled people on the street, sometimes we can really feel sorry for them. Sorry for the children, the people are bullying.
Oh, mama.
When you see the children in front of their parents on the street all day, even sometimes when you go to some people, say, hey, you get up for here. It will drive them. It can look so sorry for them, look so painful. If they, even some people, they will born a disabled child, they will even forget about that child, forgetting to know that the child got feature. So we really want for the government to look at this thing and really help the people and help them to take them from the street at least, get somewhere for them to be, to learn something. Other people who are educated, that the one that in the studio now, they can help to educate the other at least.
When the government come in.
Somewhere for them to be there to learn something, teach their children. For Christ's sake, man, those people can be too sorry for on the street.
Amen.
Looking at them, some of us we can really feel for them, especially for the children they are born. They got nothing to do. The children get on the street begging. Under the hot sun, they can low to
It rain and all. It rain. It's like we're now. Every time it's beating our hairs now.
Hello?
Yeah, hello?
Your name and where you call from?
Yeah, thank you for the topic on the discussion. My name is Ishwa Gering. I'm speaking from this quickly in the afternoon.
Let's hear you.
Yeah, thank you. Actually, what very our brother explained over there, it sounds so painful, Andy. Where all of these guys, they are laying people. Look at the men in citizen, look at the men in performance. So are you telling me that these guys, they are not capable of occupying some ministry position over there? They gotta have family. So at least let the government see to it that at least appoint some of these guys in. They gotta, they are laying people. Some of these guys, they travel out of this country, they went to achieve education. Andrew, you can't tell them to get our brother in the country like suffering, trying for them to achieve education to get certain level of degree and take them from there. They leave the people there, they take people from Ezra, they take people from America, they bring them, they put them in power.
Harvard University.
This is not about politics. This is reality.
You attend a Hoskin University.
And look after these people. Andrew, they put their feeling pain. So let the government look into it, at least to speak to the people in their brother. If people don't listen to you, come for put that. I think someone
You join, my brother.
Yeah, my brother.
We're listening to bad water for all.
Welcome.
Thank you for calling. 0770-907-907 0886-673-922 0776-3640-45. Hello?
How are you?
We are fine. Your name and where you call from?
I'm John B. Farmer. I'm called from district number 11.
Let's hear you, Mr. Farmer.
Yeah, let me say thank you to the brilliant intellectuals. Let me congratulations to them. But then that would be frank here. Why we restrict the hard apply will not be reasonable. They just said something that I pick up. For 2012 to 2023, yeah, it is true. The train is moving. You know, normally when the train is moving, the train don't move and forget about it people.
On
Assume that the train have forgotten them. No. But here it is.
When the Christmas will be good.
The train will pick up there along the way. Eh?
Those stay close.
Farmers.
The train, one of the train don't have not even open yet.
On the disabled people, one of the doors.
Let him end.
They gave the people of 60%. Granted, even 200 years. Not be frank now. When they have government employ, so they want us to employ all 60 of them. Amen. So ask this question.
But my person has been employed.
Where is the way forward for him?
You get a way forward.
You don't have to wait for. When the president have appointed over 5,000, like 5,000.
What disabled person?
Thank you so much.
When the president,
hello.
when President Booker have appointed over 5,000.
Andrew.
Yes, good afternoon. Your name and where you called from?
Yes, Charles, I don't want to hear from the Guitar.
Yeah, Chairman. My man, I hear you for long. What happened, Chairman? You know, you've been marginalized. Oh. Yeah, Chairman.
We taking time. We taking time to talk.
Okay. Let's hear you, Chairman.
You know, what? Sorry, I want disabled. That disabled. You think I'm also in the city that disabled?
No, not all.
That disabled completely?
Yes.
Oh no, let me step down. My brother, I get one of them, my brother in my community. Anything I get one, that man is so I can be celebrated.
Yeah.
Then this old man, educated, then no job, teaching there, then they get children, go to school, then they cry over radio, then they come to there, I know where are we going, my brother.
So your president must step down?
Just say what man crying? Can this woman cry yourself? You go over there.
So that shame to Boaga, eh?
Very shame. It's a shame. This is my first time to hear on radio that is so crying. They all the so many they get position to. Why is that too? And men are crying.
I only one.
Man who say it is able.
That only one mega family too. Only one person.
Sadu, they got to show you begin. They can bring and tear to all, man.
Until one person
yeah.
Thousands of people.
How many are going to try to get so much? Me ask the level we can touch you to labor, St. Andrew. So thank you.
Chairman? Okay, Chairman, you can't see me, oh, Chairman.
Chairman, you must join the struggle. Chairman, you should join the struggle. Chairman, you should join the struggle.
Hello?
Yeah, good evening.
Yeah, your name and where you call from?
All right. I'm Joseph Bakwa, Commander 100% with you.
Let's hear you.
I joined this evening from God Grace Community Law Louisiana Township.
Oh,
yeah,
hello?
Let's hear you. You on the air.
All right. Thank you very much for the discussion and also to the studio guests. You know what you go discussing is very serious. That's why you guys are playing fun, but it's serious. But when it comes to such a things, it should not be like the personal concern about the disabled people.
Farmers?
Yeah, we have to take time how to discuss these things. It should not be like we want to insult the people or to get against the government or these things. You have to take time.
No problem.
You have to take time. So I know the president is.
Yeah, we'll get 4 years.
Everybody interested. You don't want to see none of the his citizens crying.
We get 6 years.
It's a matter of time. We just need to be patient.
Okay, sir. We hear you.
We get 6 years, yeah.
Okay, General guys, you guys can respond and include your closing comment in it.
All right. So let me, in my closing part, let me say this. We not need pity. They not tying rope on the horse to go to the barroom. That day have been passed. We going to school. We need job. A Minister of Education will start with since the 13th of April. We ain't hear me anything good. I think we create a fall on a rocky ground. Very, very hard ground. Rocky one. But let me send a caveat that my chairman said, or my spokesman said. For now to the 5th, the way he been calling them, I'm busy. So now they can't answer your call.
From the studio, so I'll call them.
We gain them for now to the 5th, which is next week Wednesday. In June, Mr. Andrew, I will call you. As you can see our mattress in our Copa. Because we will not leave from Ministry of Education until our pen, it will come and we read our various names. Go to Civil 7 before we leave that place. So you need to do what they're able to do for us to meet as soon as we are possible. We will not relent. Your call, we blank. Your cripple, what do you want? We know. For me, you call me blind man. Except God will come before you open my eye. But it will not help me because you're already there. So we will not relent and we will not rest until Ministry of Education and it go to any other ministry and agency that the 4 person that's already been employed. When you employ 96 person until we see it before we will be rest. Thank you.
So thank you quickly, Mr. Andrew, for our invites. To conclude conclusively, we have said to the Ministry of Education that our 4 counts, we need our 4 counts to be addressed, not only to be addressed, but to be addressed adequately. That is, 1, we need the immediate removal of Mr. Jackson Swar, principal of the Liberia School for the Blind. We feel in our mind that he has failed the disabled community. Rather, instead of he employing more competent, visually impaired educators at the Liberian School for the Blind that is responsible to mold the minds of visually impaired kids, rather he has employed non-disabled who don't have the expertise,
family members,
who have no ability to teach a visually impaired child or children. So we are saying to the Minister of Education, have Justin Swallow be removed. If you like him, find another place and place him. But we don't want to see him being principal at the Liberian School for the Blind. 2, we are also saying to the Minister of Education, the ministry in totality, that we don't need Madam Teresa Gawi as director of the Inclusive Bureau. Reason being, we are saying the Act says that there should be a person with disabilities. She's not a disabled person. Moreover, she's not in the interest of we as disabled students. It is allegedly that she has sent her children scholarship that was meant for disabled students to travel, to go and benefit. Rather, she takes her children, she takes her family members, her relatives. Currently, they are in Morocco studying. Some are doing their BSc, some are doing their masters, and what have you. So we are saying to the Ministry of Education, Madam Teresa Gawe, we don't need you to serve as director of the bureau. Moreover, we are saying bring on board 3 program officers of that bureau who shall be persons with disabilities. The last, we are saying, thank God the legislature added additional 5 million to the budget of the Ministry of Education. And that 5 million, as we are told, it was placed on the budget to incorporate voluntary instructors. Voluntary instructors. So we are saying that the minister, she deemed it necessary to include disabled educators, disabled persons who have gotten their bachelor, their associate, their C, their B, their masters in the field of education. By doing so, we strongly believe it will provide better livelihood, better sustainability plan, and their lives will be improved. Lastly, we are saying those 11 specialized schools that was once being subsidized through the Ministry of Education, through those subsidies, those schools were being able to function properly. Through those subsidies, those schools were being, were able to buy food and other, materials for their visually impaired or disabled students. But since the inception of this government, we have not seen share subsidy. So we are saying to the Ministry of Education, please bring back the specialized schools subsidies. Thank you very much. I'm activist James Ibrahim Kiawu.
All right, you guys have set it up. To conclude, I'm Zé Wilfred Jiwon. I'm the official spokesperson of the Inclusive Educators of Liberia. So, to Mr. Jackson Swar, this is not a wish hunt. If a cat will begin to revenge, it will start with his own baby. You are a blind man and you are mistreating your fellow blind or visually impaired colleagues. For 11 years, Mr. Swar have been to the school for the blind. In fact, when Malanseli sent him to that school, he said he was misplaced because he never got education in the field of education. He never got a degree in teacher's education. He got a degree in planning and economics. So sending him to the school for the blind, it was a misplaced.
Waste.
Okay, so serving there for the 11 years, he has done nothing. He has made not a single travel to bring benefit to that institution. The school had gone to 9th grade, and he employed sighted teachers instead of visually impaired teachers. In fact, a computer lab was established, was built under the sponsorship of the World Bank since 2015 at the School for the Blind. That computer lab is still yet to benefit the students. The computer lab now has become dilapidated because he, Mr. Swar, does not even know the first key on the computer before on top of he will empower or employ somebody to teach that computer there. Okay, the school has received a lot of equipment that are going down the drain because Mr. Swar lacked the vision. He lacked the capability of running that institution. The school is going down drain. That school is not an inheritance to the Swar family. It belongs to every visually impaired Liberians from the length and breadth of this country. So we are calling the Ministry of Education to see reason to investigate Mr. Swar. If what we are saying is not truth, then he should remain there. But if the iota of truth is being found in what we are saying, he should be removed immediately and be replaced. There are a lot of qualified visually impaired teachers that can take that school to another level.
Of course.
Thank you very much, Mr. St. Andrew, for affording us the opportunity. We want to say bravo, and we will see come after the 5th. Okay, let me announce my number
some stakeholders
to the general public,
let us assist us.
to the visually impaired or the disabled community who want to join the struggle. Even able-bodied people, you can join the struggle. There's some of our able-bodied brothers who say they will join us. Yes, we need you. If we can even put up to 700 persons, we will need it. So my number as a spokesman is 0777 551066. 0777-551066. That number is on WhatsApp, or 0886 551066. 0886 551066.
Okay, guys, thank you ever so much for coming in. Ruben J. Yankan, Wilfred Giwan, and James Kiawu, my guests on the first lap of the show, Bits and Pieces, on Voice of Liberia 104.1, sharing their concerns and their resolve to ensure that the Ministry of Education do the needful for them, not a privilege, not an opportunity, but a right and obligation. Let's break. When we come back, we go into the 235 pieces of F moving machine. The executive mansion is tight-lipped. There is confusion in the atmosphere. Blames are being shifted. They're trying hard they can to find some kind of way out. My name is Sam Andrews. This break.
My people, where you at? Where you at? Wake up from your slumber. Stop sleeping. Wave your hands, wave your hands, wave your hands, wave your... Come on, come on, come on. I know you're sleeping now. You gotta wake up some more, yeah? Okay, let's go. The people fool us. The people lie to us. The government betray us. They betray us so much. I said they lie. The people fool us, oh. The people lie to us. The government betray us. They can lie, they can steal, they will not the I said we tired with their lies. We tired with their promises that led us to a lot of damages. We tired with that speech they preach indeed, and now unique they deceive us. The thing we saw, it frustrate us. So why did you lie? Why did you steal? Why did you allow the citizens to beef? You see, we just tell you that why we vote tell you. But you fool us, you screw us, you use us and later on abuse us. So why? The government should lie. Why? But that's the question that we ask. They lie. The people fool us. The people lie to us. The government betray us. They betray us so much. I said they lie. The people fool us, so the people lie to us.
A very good piece. The people fool us. They lied to us. They told us they were going to do, but they aren't.
People don't want to hope on.
Trust no politician. They are only rhetorical about words, but do nothing by action.
They're too selfish. The people tired with their rhetoric. People tired, they tired. You see the reason.
That's the key language of politician rhetorics. They deliver grandeur addresses, and you are carried away by the words, by the style. And you say, oh, that man can speak, that politician, that man no boy. But they're fooling you.
Why? The government should lie.
That's what you do. You only ask the why. Takun J with this one, they lie to us on the show. Bits and pieces on Voice of Liberia 104.1 Monrovia. Voice of Liberia 89.7 Kakatama Gibi County. Voice of Liberia 90.7 Bon County. The online radio. www.voiceofliberiaradio.com. All right. So let's begin the second lap now. Not much time we've got, but this is very significant. What we're going to do is we're going to do a round. We are in the office of Senator Amara Conan, Representative Musa Bility, Senator Darius DeLong, and others. Earlier, I said life is a cycle. I will hear people use that expression, but I've come to believe that expression that truly life is a cycle. And my understanding is event flows on the same plane differently, but in the same time. Just about this time, 6 years ago, the coming in of President George Weah, we didn't hear anything but a bigger deal called Ibomab and Elton deal. Concerns were raised as the concerns are raised by Liberians now. The government then and the fanatics will push that off. They will defend it to the letter. Fast forward, the legislature was divided. There were some legislators who said that let us not hasten with this ratification. Let us give it a time to do a careful background check. So there were two schools of thought. In no time, majority went ahead. What did they say? They said, oh, the Ibomab deal going to be good. Oh, and the president wants to do this. And isn't borders on development. Yeah, go like the same argument the fans and defenders of the former government put up. The same argument defenders of this government putting up. So what happened? When we woke up in the morning, we were greeted by the news that the legislature had given overwhelming endorsement for the Ibomab and Elton D. What did it turn out to be? Nothing. A shitty deal, fake. But post-shock or footages came out, just like we're seeing footages of those 285 pieces of earth-moving equipment. Another one is before us. The president said no business as usual. The president said everything about his administration going to be transparent. The president said he's going to run an open government. The president made it clear that he's going to run a transparent budget. The president, we can go on to say a lot more the statements that the president made. This one is a litmus test. The video came out. They did a very short but impressive video with good sound bites. So what we're going to do, those of you who are screaming and shouting all over the place, including some pastors, politicians, business people, who think that those who are calling for a full understanding of the procuring of those things are anti-government, you are the real anti-government. Here are the individuals who controls the politics of this country. Well-educated men and women, people who have a solid financial background about governance. They will raise their voices. You think that they are against President Boakai? You think they are against this country? You think they don't want development? Some of you who don't know anything at all, you're not reading one document. You're sit down, you're writing on Facebook, yeah, the president want development in the country because you see machines. Some of you, your institution, no transparency, no accountability. So when you're here, you're vexed. Then you bring other people as anti-government or enemies of the country. Let's start with Amara. Not Amara, but Senator Musa Ability, then we'll go. But before then, they broke into the mayor's office. So, yeah, Senator Conner experiencing some things there. Oh, yeah, they feel they're talking, the man talking. Yeah, man. They both brought into the man's office. They talked on essential documents. Where is it? Yeah, what the man said. He said, I am sad to report that my Senate office in the Capitol building was burglarized over the weekend. The burglars entered through the back window, ransacked the office, and made away with documents related to MedTech investigation. They are investigating MedTech. A log of compensation and gasoline benefits my staff and I have received since February, and Liberian dollars 10,000 office petty cash for staff lunch. I am told that two other senators' offices were affected by the burglary. I am reporting this here for two reasons. One, the public needs to know when criminals break into public buildings. We and our staff safety matters. And two, to create awareness concerning any stringent security measures the legislature may put in place to protect lawmakers, their staff, and public records to prevent a recurrence. This is very unfortunate. So we've told that one person has been arrested or is with the police trying to answer some questions. One person. I think he's referred to as Siafa, a guy at the Capitol building. Siafa Kamara. He was serving as deputy commander. Okay? Yeah, he's being investigated or being questioned by the police as the prime suspect in the burglary at the Capitol building in the office of Senator Amara Conan. So let's see how the police carry out that investigation. So here is it now. Let's make the round as quickly as we can in time on this rescue Ibomaf and Elton D, quote unquote, 285 pieces of machine. Let me start with Representative Musa Belete. I think he wasn't the first person to oppose, but Senator Chie was the first person who raised the issue. According to him, he heard it on state radio. And state radio stopped short of giving detail, but they will quote the executive mansion. So he was concerned and wanted to know exactly how it's going to be. So hear what he said. This was the first post, Representative Musa Belete. He said the news of the yellow machines is welcoming and must be embraced by all. Our roads are poor and our people are suffering. The legislation under the line item called presidential projects gave the president the latitude in 2024 budget to do something like this. This is no time to criticize such a revolutionary move by the executive. We look forward to the transparent and equitable implementation of this critical project. Now, listen carefully. He somersaulted on this post, and his colleague on the other side, Senator Amarakone, blasted him indirectly. Yeah, he came to give a clarification. He didn't say yeah, he didn't question the source. Representative Musa Belete, his first post, he was concerned. He said, oh, but no problem, man. Dra brought in the equipment, or the budget gave Dra the right. So nothing there, I see we can. So let's leave Dra. Let's see how the implementation will go. That means the 15 counties, how many Dra will get to each county. When he received the first lash came from his colleague, Senator Amara Kone. Senator Amara Kone lashed at him, then he somersaulted. Here is Senator Amara Kone's position. He said, the same lawmakers who got elected to the Capitol building loudly winning and criticizing the CDC regime for the lack of transparency in the Igbo math and Ayrton loans are the ones today who are labeling those who require transparency in similar efforts as show baiting and grandstanding. These are the words that Representative Musa Belete used. When did they know that criticism and a demand for transparency are two different things? The criticism that paved the way to office is show baiting, and grandstanding. Demanding accountability is a legislative oversight and a constitutional duty. Repeating the same things after getting power that you criticize as opposition in the biggest showboating and hypocrisy. What is it about attaining power? Stop being intolerant leader, first resort, by objecting to dissenting views while you are in power. That's what your predecessors did that put them out of power. Be consistent in your advocacy for good governance as an opposition and a ruling politician. Then Senator Kone went to the real issue. It's long, so I'm not going to take long because we have to look at the pros and cons. I share mine, Dra share his, and then we are out. So I will just take excerpts from each of them. So this is Senator Kone's position questioning the source. He said the yellow machines for roads is a good initiative that requires full disclosure. Senator Kone is not saying that it's not good for development, there should be no development. Senator Kone is simply saying, yes, the intent is good, but let the Liberian people know how all these machines were procured or purchased, or if they're on loan. He said, I watched the 3D video of 285 units of earth-moving equipment, which circulated around social media this week. It was an impressive display with sound bites of the ministers of state with our portfolio and public works discussing the potential impact of this procurement on Liberia's development. But what I noticed what I noticed, Senator Connor goes on to say, most was what they didn't say, so I took my usual approach of inquiring with the relevant authorities in the executive branch. That means he listened to the wordings, the production, to hear whether they will say, yeah, this agreement draft procure aid from this company, the deal went there. So he said he took his usual position to listen keenly to get facts, but it did not happen. He did not hear it. So he decided to link up with the executive mansion, to call the executive mansion. He said, so I took my usual approach of inquiring with the relevant authorities in the executive branch. Behind the scenes, a common courtesy I wish others had taken before jumping to conclusions about my decisions as finance minister when I occupied that position. Those I reached out to included the Minister of State and Information, Grisby and Pia, respectively, and the Minister of Public Works. None have responded to my inquiry since yesterday, except Minister Giddings, who referred me to Minister Grisby. I have no details except for the unofficial narrative that my colleague Senator Dillon has provided. And we'll go to Senator Dillon's post. Connor went further to say, I will stop here. He said, I am therefore compelled to ask my questions publicly. Let's start how much this cost, and how the Bouaka administration raised the money. The minimum price for each of these units is about 100K. I mean 100,000 each. That sets the tune above 30 million United States dollars. The administration must state what that figure is and who put up the capital. Senator Connor went further. I still remember President George Weah officials justifying the Ibomaf and Elton scandal, arguing that even if the president got loans from the devil, we support it to fix our roads. But that position contradicted international anti-money laundering or countering the financing of terrorism framework to which Liberia is subject. The Bouaka government is no less bound by international law to do due diligence to all counterparties to its procurement and investments, and on and on. You can get a copy of Senator Amara Conan's position. Then, Dillon, what did Dillon say? Then we end with rescue mission. Listen, this thing is not a bad thing, or nobody against the government. All of these guys are right. Yeah, what the senator said, Senator A.B. Dillon, what he said about this whole thing, that the president must be given a chance. It will go through the legislature. The legislature will do due diligence by doing fast checking, counter checking, background check, and if all of the facts are factual, then the legislature can move to ratify. That was Senator Dillon's position. Then, lastly, rescue mission, rescue Rambo. Rescue Rambo. Rescue Rambo say, but why the president hiding? As far as Rescue Rambo concerned, it's fake, it's double dealing. Yeah, what he said.
Rescue Rambo?
Yeah, Rescue Rambo. Yeah, he said, 3P Arab blunders. 3P Arab blunders. The yellow machines, the cabinet retreat, and the president visit to the USA. That means the blunder in all three. That's why he called 3P Arab blunders. 1, the yellow machine. 2, the cabinet retreat. 3, the president visit to the USA. Jai, see what the other said. Yeah, what they say. You know, Jai, don't be laughing. Let me tell you, the yellow machine, no lay. President, he's speechless. He didn't know what to say. He can't come out to the public and say anything. Some of the people, they ain't even know. So, no hey, no tay. The retreat, nothing came out of it. It was a gathering of enjoying ourselves. The trip to the United States, nothing. So then he went further. He said, we promised no business as usual. What you hiding? What is there to hide when governance should be about openness, accountability, and transparency? The government is becoming more reactive than proactive, merely because of how it handles public relations. Almost everyone is randomly speaking because he or she wants to prove that he or she is working. There is no centralized system of communication, no control, and no coordination at all. Everyone is just speaking to prove a point. This is not governance. It's hurting, harming the government, and even more. Governance is not about self-gratification or self-glory. It is about a win. Then he went on to the issue. He said the announcement of the 285 yellow machines by the Minister of State with our portfolio was premature. There was no need to share all generated videos and pictures of yellow F moving machines without a formally transparent and open agreement or memorandum of understanding, example, procurement, loan, grant, or aid being reached, announced, or displayed between the Liberian government, the signing company, or he put a company out. The man is a researcher, the man know. Signing company, and I saw the same thing in Daily Observer with a businessman, signing group, SANY, and the so-called Guma Group. Oh, there's another one, Ojwa, that too, Guma Group. Why we can take his stuff as absolute fact, but we hold it appropriate information because he is a researcher. All of his fact, all of his research may not prove right, but truth, yeah, some of it.
We hold it constant and do investigation.
Yeah. So he said the government should not have waited for people to ask, where is the money coming from to fund this project and what agreement has been reached, and on he went further to say. So here is it, then Dra comes in, we close. Listen, this is the same situation with the Igbo Math and Ayrton D on a WIA. The public raised their voices, these same people. And listen, I do not know whether Senator Dillon was there at that time. I tried checking, but I think he was. So what I want to say, I can't say it because I'm not too sure. It will be too unprofessional and immature on my part to say that, and then it turns out Senator Dillon wasn't there in the Senate at that time. But the Senate, the legislature then, hasting, when there was public outcry, just as it is today, to know the source of Igbo Math and Ayrton D. The CDC, government officials, and other people were defending. These same people, about 40 to 45% of the people in this government as ministers, they chastened the government, they prevailed on the government to give the source of that Igbo Math and Ayrton D. They were on various radio stations throughout the day. They were having press conferences. We know that for a fact because they will call and say, at that time I was on the other radio, they will call and say, Mr. Andrew, we want to appear, we want to talk about this Igbo Math and Ayrton D. You know this George Weah man, he want to plunge our country into all kind of stuff. We say, okay, y'all can't sit down, y'all talk. That's why when I'm talking, I talk with ease and confidence because I know, I get it, I know them. So they were all around. Now the same people today, they're telling the people of this country that they should not raise any voice, they should not raise their voices because it's about development, the president coming to face the role, the president coming to do it. This is sheer arrogance. You can't do that. As much as you raise your voice, you're testing the other people for not being transparent, and they needed to be transparent. On the same shaded D, you have the same shaded D before you, and you don't want anybody to talk about it. This is sheer arrogance, this is disrespect, and they will have to get, Mr. President will face the people and will tell exactly where this money came from. If it is our taxpayers' money, let's know. If it is no, let's know. If it is goodwill or gesture, let's know. The president said no business as usual. So if the president isn't in the know, he will have to make us that he isn't in the know. If somebody is doing it on his behalf to raise his government morale, we will still have to know. Drop the development aspect, is going to be of help to us. All of us want our country to be developed. We have all along talked about that repeatedly, but we also have the right as citizens to know. And all of these representatives and senators who are saying the same thing to know the source, they are not anti-government. Those of you who are saying all kinds of things, you're acting like you're pro-unity party or you're pro-Liberian or more Liberian than another, you're like the country, you people are the sycophants. Sorry. And let me include, because I've read some from some of the pastors and bishops, but those ones, no. You can't blame them. You can't blame them. When they see yellow machine, they say, oh, they want development. You know, how you're a pastor, you can read essential documents nationally. I can understand because whole day they're prophesying. So I want to know, yeah? That they issued a topical issue, a trend, it will continue to trend. So we're discussing, we're taking it bit by bit. we'll finish here one day.
We can finish here one day, like you said, and we'll continue to hit it bit by bit. But then, the whole thing here, Sam, it has a lot of contradiction among themselves, especially the guys who we claim to be the rescuer. Rescue Rambo, the Sekou Dukle, they put, he has his son, and the Amara has his son, and you got the Minister for State without portfolio.
Mamanka Ability.
Yeah, she has her side, and you got Albert Chie. Chie got his side, right?
Yeah, it was Senator Chie that raised the issue. He said he had it on LBS.
Yeah, it was first broadcast on LBS when the pronouncement
the production fine. Oh,
when the pronouncement was being made. No, you know that they are Rescue Rambo even framed at that production. He called it AR.
I don't think it was done yet.
No, AR. That's not something like it's real. It's duplicated something. You can sit down and use the computer. That's what you call AR.
Yeah, and do the voice over.
Yeah, do the voice over, stick flare and stuff. When they almost like
there are some photos. They stock black picture on them. That's with AR with Liberia flag.
Yes, that's AR stuff. The Rescue Rambo said it, not me. The Martin K. and Quality, the Rescue Rambo said it's an AR production. That's what he said. Because he came out and he gave his position on how the government has been run. And the issue here is he has framed at a couple of officials in the government who don't mind their business. They don't work according to their terms and reference. They go about making statements because they feel they are connected to the president and they feel that they are open to the public so that you make statement, failing to know that whatever statement they will make or utter has, an implication on the president and of the country. So now let me move on to the machine issues. Senator Chie came at first and said, the machine, it is a commendable development that which everyone should praise the president for, only if it is true, if it is real, because people will benefit hugely with regards to roads, connectivities in the country. But he also said he don't know the source of the yellow machines. And that's where everyone is being in limbo or in doubt as to where the machines are coming from. You have Senator Amara Kane. He had his position as well, given their standpoint or status as a legislature, that they have the right to also ask the executive as to where they got all of the machines from, or the source or sources of the machine, so they can be able to inform the Liberian people as to whether it's from the budget or he went and lobbied on his own, or he got friends who just decided to give it to him free. But he went on quoting as the end. He said nothing is absolutely free. And he also yet to see the source of the machine. He said the public work should acknowledge him the source of the machine. Up to current, public work had not made the position clear as to who is responsible, for the donation of the 285 pieces of machine. Though it's laudable, but we got to know the source of the machine. It's been speculated that it is 28 million loan that the president used to purchase the machines, 28 million. Like you heard this morning, on Good Morning Liberia, and they said 28 million, and other platforms brought it out, 28 million loan. Or the total worth of the machine is 28 million United States dollars. But then again, on another contrary, the National Port Authority Director, Sekou Hossein Dukle, he writes on his official page and says, "Thank God, thank you President JNB Senior, and thank you Chairman Robert Gumet of Guma for trusting our dynamics President JNB Senior with more than 52 million worth of earth-moving equipment. JNB, aka Barrow Doctor." Joe, we are Barrow Medicine, and JNB coming to be Barrow Doctor, according to Hossein Dukle, Sekou Dukle at the NPA. He said, "Is the only man," okay, let me go back. He said, "Thank God, thank you President JNB Senior, and thank you Chairman Robert Gumet of Guma for trusting our dynamics President JNB Senior with more than 52 million worth of earth-moving equipment. JNB, aka Barrow Doctor, is the only man who can secure a loan like this with no money down. The 2024 budget gave the Ministry of State an allotment to finance these equipments. 25% of our road funds will also help pay for these equipments. There is no time for politics when it comes to development Liberia. Let's say developing Liberia, the president understands the issue of open government, and before the equipment arrives, he went on. The piece was too long, and we could not capture all. But that's the position of Dukle, the managing director at the NPA. So now, Dukle is telling us that the machine worth is more than 52 million United States dollars. And like I said, it's been speculated that
Martin Colley put it at 30 million.
30 million.
Dukle saying more than 52 million.
More than 52 million. What a contradiction.
The figures are fluctuating.
Yes.
No certainty.
So he went on calling President Bouaka Barrow Doctor. Wia was considered as Barrow Medicine, and Bouaka is Barrow Doctor. So we went on again, and he said, people are considering the machines coming in to be loan, while others are saying that President Bouaka friend gave it to him. Some people are saying President Bouaka went on and signed that the country will pay for the yellow machines. Some people also say there are some companies that are coming to mine the mountain in the country, various mountains in the country. They send in those machines so as they can be as a gateway, so they can come in and sign another agreement to open some of the mountains and take in, let's say, take out our resources. Then Dukle again telling us on here, he said the 2024 budget gave the Ministry of State an allotment to finance this equipment. I hope you're getting it. So it means the budget, the 2024 budget has a portion of it at 25%.
But the budget is not private. The budget is not only with the president, the finance minister, Dukle, or certain government officials. The budget is public information. It's available. What they should be saying, they should be honest to reference that identical portion. We have it here. But let them come out to say, because they have the burden of proof. The burden of proof doesn't lie with the people, it lies with them. So Musa Belete said that same thing. Dukle is saying it. Some of them are saying. So if you say the budget, there's a line there that gave the president that right, then you explain that line. You say the line is so and so that then people get there. But what they're doing, they're entrapping themselves because the budget is public information, is available.
It's available.
Even if it gives the president the right, it is not whether the budget said or the budget gives the president the right or not. We have to stop stooping so low after we've condemned other people and come to say there's no business as usual. Nobody is against anything developmental in this country.
Yes.
Everybody in this country, including the unborn child, wants Liberia to be just like heaven. But let us know whatever dime or cent is used for, or everything that is procured. Where people know, when you have, they say when public, or they say when you information sharing dismisses or neutralizes suspicion. That's true. So when you share information, nobody will be suspecting.
There's no clear picture to spread out and make you understand the particular portion in which they are quoting. So you come and just make it's just like a bare statement.
Yeah,
you made a statement without understanding. Yeah, you made a statement without understanding. So how do people go about confiding in what you say or reference to what you are saying?
And yeah, it's
just about an open statement.
Here's another blunder.
And they continue to push the government, you know, against the citizen or
the government pushing itself.
Yeah,
no, the government pushing itself.
Yeah, when I mean they are in the government. I agree the government. When I'm saying the Ducle, the guys who are in the government, that's what I'm talking about. They are the one I'm talking about.
Yeah. I can see why Martin Colley said, Rescue Rambo said, poor public relation. You know why? The first transparency in anything is information. That's the first transparency. They did the production. They did all of their stuff. They would not say that let's inform the people the president is working on this and there's a, you know why they opted not to do all of those? Because the senators and representatives, some are not all, other level-headed, average-minded politicians were going to raise the issue and even go ahead of them to start doing a background check.
Yeah, investigation.
So they kept everything quiet. After they have done everything they completed, or they are in the business of completing, because Senator Dillon, he used the word, he said when it is consummated. That means when everything is completed. So negotiations stay going, that's what he said. But if they had said it earlier, people would have gone behind them to check. So they kept it quiet, reached a conclusion, because I think Senator Dillon told them, not you, the people finished with that thing. So the country just want to know whether you gave 50 to Grand Cape Mao, you gave 40, you gave 900 to Lofa Cantel, you gave 1 to Mary Leo. All the country wants to know is how they were procured.
Yeah, how they came into being.
We
are not against it. Yeah, we are not actually against it. We like it. If we get the source of the machine and we get to understand that everything is on course. The same way we hailed, the president for signing the war crime code, we can also hail him for this.
Obviously.
We praise President. We praise President Bouaka for signing the war crime code, right? So why would it not be something that would be happy that when we have getting all of the sources, associated to the yellow machine issue and have investigated and know that they are all truth? We will come back here and say, thank you, President Bouaka, for bringing the yellow machines. It's another open eye to the country.
If it was another government, you have heard these guys screaming all around here. Today, they are ashamed. They're ashamed. They're justifying nothing they will justify. President Bouaka said no business as usual. And truly, there will be no business as usual. No business as usual starts with the very president. He is the leader. He leads by example and difference. He will have to make everything clear, transparent, open.
Let's try to go
all
to the
of
line.
these people saying it. Let's move to the line.
Let's move to the line and pick
0770907-907, 0886-673-922, 0776-3640-45. And then we zoom up. Few calls. 0776 077 0907-907, 0776 3640-45, 0886-673-922. You're listening to Bits and Pieces on Voice of Liberia 104.1, 0770 907-907, 0776 3640-45.
Hello?
Hello?
Your name and where you come from?
My name is Eli. We are coming from Balance Day.
Yeah, let's hear you, Eli.
Yeah, my brother, you see that Liberia will not grow anytime soon. Because at the early stage, in person, we are regime, he integrated and they for 40. Now they say they cannot say anything. But anyway, we say again, let it burn up before Georgia. Thank you very much for the show.
Thank you. Thank you. Hello?
Hello?
Hello, your name, where you call from? Be fast. No time.
My name is Pumba Mohammed Dufle. I'm calling from Ghana.
Yeah, Mohammed Tukle, go away from your radio now.
Okay, let me off the phone. The radio. Yeah, the issue is to bring in a machine is not a problem. Just like you likely say, how they acquire the machine, who get any loan or who get any machine is what we want to know. Then we can produce them.
Okay. Sam, take the lock out there. Hello? Hello? Yeah, you know me where you call from? Yeah, let's hear you. Go ahead, you live. Let's hear you. No time. Hello? Yeah, your name is where you call from? Go ahead, James. Let's hear you quickly.
The machine being brought to Liberia. It's important by this time. But what we do want to know is that how the machine was purchased or how the machine was gotten or from where he got the machine. That is what we want to know.
All right, thank you. Hello?
Hello?
Your name and where you call from?
Yeah, I went up the land.
Yeah, go ahead quickly.
Yeah, you know, the people playing with us. We were discussing rest. The people, whenever the Liberian people want to be a trap on the right issue, that they bring a yellow machine issue. I can remember when President we went to the UAE during the World Cup. When President we were there, Liberian people were complaining that President we spent one morning to watch football game. When President we came back to Liberia, I can remember President we said Liberia jetted Miami. So the attention drew back from the World Cup. The Liberian man drew back from the World Cup to Miami. That's what the unit the government doing. They want for the Liberian people man to move on the red issue and draw back on yellow machine. Who did they put on know what they're doing?
All right, thank you. Hello? Hello?
Yeah, how are you?
I'm fine. Your name and where you call from?
Everything is I'm calling from Harrisburg.
Let's hear you today.
Yeah, the issue about the machine, even though it is good, but I want to know how the machine comes and where to get the machine from. I remember when President we are one and then you're running after something to bring to Liberia in there about the plane that I want to give him. It was an issue. They came out and then they put the whole issue and then that whole thing went down. So I want to know where the machine coming from and how the machine is coming to the country.
All right, thank you. Thank you. Let's take another person. Hello?
Good evening.
Good evening. Your name and where you come from?
Yeah, I'm Joseph Bakola coming on 100% with you.
Yeah, let's hear you, Joseph.
All right. Thank you very much for the discussion. Even though for somehow we are full supporter of the government, but when it comes to the issue on ground concerning the machine, I think it's very important for us to know the source of the machine because these are things that we have been talking against during the past time. So we want for us to know where the money of the machine will come from, whether that friend gave it or something intended for. That all know about it. But one thing I want us to know is that we should not be listening to those that are on the side when it comes to information giving. I think the government spokesperson is the information ministry. So these are people who will get information from. We should take it serious and the president itself. You know, some of these people just there to maybe to just talk or people to hear them talking.
Okay, thank you. So I think that's all the call now we have to take, and we got to close up now. Time is of the essence. So, okay, we want to say thanks to all of you. But then before we go home, let me inform you that today we were unable to take our correspondents across Liberia. By tomorrow, God willing, we'll take them. And tomorrow we will also serve Kofa A. Joman. He is an EPS officer. It's alleged that on Saturday, he carries some group of ERU officers along the Old Road Bell, and they have some property that was being destroyed. And we will serve him tomorrow. I tried reaching out to him. Every call I placed to him, the call bounced. Kofa A. Joman from the EPS department, and I'm sure that you're listening. I've tried all effort to reach out to you, and they have turned down. So tomorrow we'll serve you. So, folks, my name has been Edwin Meofin Jua. We say thank you. Patrick has been on the camera. Sam Andrews and I have been here, and tomorrow we'll be here, God willing. Have yourself a God bless Monday.